Hello there, and welcome to the World Championship 2019. You're looking at somebody that has won a World Championship before. He won GCS1 back in 2017. He came within a whisker of winning a consecutive World Championship last year. It's Luvnest playing as the Soviets, but his nemesis in the West, VonIvan, the captain of chaos, the chief purveyor of calamity, the master of disaster, is Luvnest's bogeyman. This American player playing for you as the Wehrmacht is the antidote to Luvnest's calm, cool strategies. I'm AE today. I'm casting with Ed 80Hz.
Thanks, AE, and he is against the captain of chaos, as you called him for the GCS2 competition. It is indeed VonIvan fighting from the West as Wehrmacht, locking in Jibber Jabber Jobber's favourite Askrens as a really good strat on this map. Very close engagements. I think it's an excellent pick.
It is an excellent pick because, of course, Holodny Firm is all about that close quarter combat. MG42 as well to give the pick a little bit of substance. He's up against, again, armoured assault tactics, so Luvnest, he probably would have known that VonIvan would be going Askrens for you today. But he's certainly going to know their timings and what else he's building as well.
Yeah, it's kind of been like the staple diet for Luvnest in this doctrine for his allies games. Loving the radio intercept early on. Double mine bulletin, respect. It's going to lay down all those cheap mines early game.
Oh, talking of which, I mean, we've got barbed wire coming up here. Luvnest loves to terraform the map in his favour. I was expecting him to launch out of the bushes there, but he didn't see it. He's been very careful with it. It's all quiet on the eastern fronts thus far. Not a single bullet has been fired. Maybe they're just agreeing to disagree, Ed.
Yeah, it's like a 1 minute truce or 2 minute truce, but soon about to erupt with some penals into the southern engagement against some Askrens. Good micro already from VonIvan.
Yeah, he's doing well to keep them out of harm's way because penal battalions, of course, outrange them. That's negative cover there. Needs to be a little bit careful. First bullets fired in Luvnest's favour. Assault Grenadier sprinting! Two of them at the same time. M3 also comes in. The penal battalions getting out of there, getting behind the Sturmgeschütz Husk. M3's going to bully them around, Ed.
Rip munitions for VonIvan for a sec. He went all in with that double sprint straight off the bat. But the M3's here to save the day for the Soviets.
Good preservation though. He didn't lose a single soldat, and I know the M3 may be... no, it's fine. They got away with it. Just a little bit of health damage. So that will weaken their next engagement, unfortunately for them.
And I think double Askrens, if they get into assault grens, we should say, if they get into good cover early game, they can really do some damage. Blink away at that M3. It's surprising.
Oh, what a load of damage there from the MG42. The M3's now got to go and get repaired, surely.
I think you've got to watch out if you lose an MG42 this early in the game as Wehrmacht. Nice reposition from Von, but again, he's got to be thinking of a follow-up from Luvnest. Good micro again, repositions constantly with his MG42. Nice play.
Very surprised that in chat a lot of people are saying, oh, they expect Luvnest to win, but I just don't see it that way. I've seen VonIvan manhandle Luvnest before on Holodny Firm. Luvnest may be the favourite in the bookies, but a lot of people know that this one is much more likely to go down the wire if history is anything to go by, Ed.
Yeah. Good map for Von, good point. He's definitely, this is his best chance, I think, of beating Luvnest, especially with the short range assault grens early game. Plus Panzer Grenadiers popping up now with the new updates to Wehrmacht, how they can get Panzer Grenadiers just from their base structure. It's a huge buff, I think, for this faction.
Certainly, yes. We've got penal battalions preparing. Assault Grenadiers poised and ready. MG42 pushes up. VonIvan playing this one in a textbook fashion, but he is controlling his fuel point, it has to be said. I was about to say he's suffering from that control, but he's doing well at the moment, Ed. He's keeping control. Yeah,
but again, Luvnest just finds a way of capping those VPs early game, getting that early game bleed on in terms of victory points.
Penal battalions jump in and out of the house and pepper the penal battalions with SVT fire on their retreat. They're looking to try and get this cut off, Ed, but the Panzer Grenadiers are waiting for them. So good foresight by VonIvan. But here comes the cavalry. Two more penal battalions come into view on the eastern approach.
One thing to note as well is these penals don't have the anti-tank guns upgraded yet. So early game, they just maul through enemy infantry. They're very cost effective.
They really do. VonIvan repositions. He's got really good green cover there from two directions, it has to be said. Ooh, Assault Grenadiers with a tricky retreat path. Satchel thrown!
Oh, I didn't get the correct retreat path. 50-50, but they went a good route, I think.
Yeah, nice
solid
algorithm.
AI.
Oh, we've got the Rockline Flamethrower in the M3. Oh, causing horrendous damage to the Panzer Grenadiers. We've got VonIvan in mass retreat here. Penal battalions do not have the munitions for another satchel, so they're safe. This is going to necessitate very early healing. Look at that model drop, Ed.
Strong models, though. I'm surprised even two make it out on hardly any HP.
Oh, the bunker's ready. The bunker's ready.
He's got healing there, and just half a CP away from his own clown car, which has been reduced to 2 CPs for this doctrine.
Luvnest takes the opportunity to push in and take the cut-off. Doesn't miss a beat.
No telemines yet, though, from VonIvan, so clown car's going to basically act with impunity. There's an early mine from Luvnest, 63 munitions a minute. he's raking it in.
He is. He's got double munitions right now, and he's going to utilise them very well indeed.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
A bit of fuel used up from Von, so he's not going to have that early call-in car. I think you need battle phase 1 for it anyway, so if anything, with the whole call-in metas that used to be called for Wehrmacht, this doctrine is the kind of last stand of that.
It is.
If you get the battle phases, you can call in Stuggies, you can call in the, I don't know what it's called, half-track with P-grades, one quarter of it, and then the Tiger eventually, so...
Mechanised Assault Group, as it's called, yeah. Indeed. KD-wise at the moment, looks like Luvnest has peeled ahead already. 2 of his units died of natural causes, though, it seems. But,
to Gaia. But yeah, this flamethrower in a clown car, if it's not countered early game, it can just do so much damage to the Wehrmacht.
Oh, nice assault grenade there.
Yeah, could red cover and P-Grens pushing in. They are going to connect on the...
They get the squad wipe! Great positioning by VonIvan. Excellent assault grenade by the Assault Grenadiers. And VonIvan straight away back in this. He's got the first wipe of the game. He may be suffering from map control, Ed.
Yep.
But nice pick.
Just noticed a juicy teller near those Asquens as well on the middle road. Yep, you've got it. He could do the old debate.
Could push him into
the sweeper. Great play again from Luvnest. So solid. Just thinking ahead all the time.
Nice work there. And here it comes. Panzer Grenadiers in the clan ball. Let's get on board with this bad boy and see the journey he's going to go on in this slight lull in activity.
Von desperately needs Shreks though, as the T-70's been queued up for Luvnest. And these P-Grens, if they don't get the Shreks, it's going to be a tough old time against that brute of a light tank for the Soviets.
He sees mines being planted as well. He's going to go all in, causing severe harassment and pain for the combat engineers. He's now going to take the cut-off. He himself has to get his own fuel because Luvnest has had double fuel, and that spells 8-minute T70 in a highly competitive elite level game.
Yep, and no tier 2 structure up, so Pack 40's quite the long way off. I just want to check if any of the Panzer Grenadiers have got Shreks update. Yeah,
doesn't look like it this far.
Okay, so this T70 is just going to be a monster with the telemine.
Oh, and he hits the mine there himself.
Oh, that
was a full squad wipe there, Ed. It's a full squad wipe.
He went for Asquens for sure. I like the Asquens pick, but without OKW on this map, yeah, it's risky.
It's a 6.75 chance of that happening, to lose every model. And it happened for him in that case, and the T70 haunts this MG42 with its veterancy. Wants to keep that, to be honest. Doesn't have much anti-tank.
Well, that's why VonIvan has that whip or RNG emotes. It's so common in this game. Could swing one way or the other. He's got a lot of manpower, but does not have a snare, does not have buildings. I don't know how he's going to get out of this.
This is a GT70, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looked like VonIvan was in the ascendancy, but with this thing, it's going to be very difficult indeed. Panzer Grenadiers are retreating. You can't tell at this point if they have Panzer Shreks upgrading. One would expect that they should. VonIvan's very good at surviving here. Let's get on these Panzer Grenadiers as soon as we can, and no, they aren't.
He's just been disconnected for too long from his munitions.
Yep.
No,
But I think the
no
psychological
Shreks.
threat was enough for Luvnest there. He assumed that they were upgrading Thunder Shreks, as we did as well. Support armor
Mercy
core
for Von. Okay, he gets a chance.
of only 20 fuel, and he's being disconnected yet again. He only just reconnected the fuel.
We are losing a sector.
I mean, if he was a boxer, he would have seen more canvas than Gogan. But VonIvan, if anything, can always spring back. I don't know how he's going to do it. He'll figure out a way, though. But strange to not go for the tier 2 in a pack.
T70 at the moment giving Luvnest great sight lines. Just check. Well, he can't actually see support armor core at the moment, but still getting a good view of what's going on. See the engine difficulties he's not been recrewed. Will he see support armor core and further give VonIvan psychological stress?
Well, he could stall for the Stuggy. That is an option. Cancels that building maybe and gets some fuel. It's only 1 CP away, but yeah, this looks really bad for Von at the moment. His medic's structure even getting destroyed. I think he would have got the Shreks now. I hope. No. Oh. I don't know what his munitions are going on. Maybe he's got a cheeky teller somewhere else.
This, by the way, is like VonIvan's army going north on a little merry journey.
Little migration away from their base.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he's gone for another call in half track. 250. With assault group, so maybe he's thinking, well, go cut off Luvnest at least.
He needs 100 munitions to get what he needs there. By the way, there's mines here. He's got to be careful about them. Penal Battalion gets out of dodge.
Left one on one of the P-Grens at least, so they do get that buff when nearby vehicles. Just desperately needs munitions. He must have gone for a teller somewhere, because he didn't have this lower munitions before.
Losing territory.
We just had, yeah, that mine's, or a mine rather, has detonated. Ah, here we go. Panzer Grenadier is suffering. Here comes the Chariot of Fire. It's the 250 half track.
Oh, bit of reverse base inspection, why not?
Papier and Bitter.
Could delete that engineer squads while they're building. Take way more damage than normal.
Oh, a hell of a lot of damage here. This could be the second Penal Battalion wipe of the game.
It's crazy to think he's wiped a penal squad, but still Luvnest had that.
Yeah. He's going for it, Ed. He's reinforcing.
Ring a
A lot of,
roasties with
oh,
the
he might
P-Grens.
get it, and it's been a lot of reinforced. 27 manpower per go here. Here comes the PTRS, though. He's got to be careful. Might want to. Yeah, he's going to get satcheled if he's not careful. Then he could become a suicide 250. Luvnest knows it. Oh, he hasn't got munitions either, but regardless, he's still going for it. So much manpower penalty being done here.
Doesn't want to use the satchel. I think he's just
Oh,
going
he
to blink it down.
didn't disembark in time, and he lost 3 models, and now he's going to lose the Panzer. He throws a bundle, though. Cheeky suicide bundle! Oh, he doesn't get the kill.
Good effort from Von, but wow. Okay, he's got 30 fuel. I don't know how he's going to get out of this death grip. There he goes. I think that's the only option.
Oh dear, and
GG.
I think that was a little bit of style for VonIvan for the fans because, yeah, this game certainly did not go his way.
Achtung! Angriffstruppe ist unterwegs. Ziel erkannt. Abbruchzone markiert.
We were just saying, we think that build order VonIvan uses is very precarious. If it doesn't go your way, like with that mine, wiping the Panzer Grenadier squad in the 250, nothing else is going to go your way.
Yep, and just no counter for the clown car, no early 222. An interesting decision to go try and build a tier 3, at least build a pack and work your way back into the game that way, perhaps against the T70, but by that time, Luvnest knows how to close out a game, and I just think he's so ruthlessly efficient with it. Von had no chance, but still, game 2, Von gets his allies pick. We'll see what happens.
I think Armstrong can feel a little bit happier with himself as well, because we know he lost 3-0 to Luvnest yesterday. I think he would have been a bit upset about that. So just goes to show just how strong Luvnest is come tournament time.
Yeah.
Luvnest as well, he's not been doing amazingly in scrims, reports are saying. but I think there's something about him that rises to the occasion on the grand stage. Maybe, probably.
Could be, you know, feigning it a bit, letting his opponents get some false hope, just to like smash him like a bug when when it comes to the tournament play, because he's definitely ups his game from. I mean, we saw all sorts of people beat him on their streams in auto match, but this is a whole nother level.
Certainly is, and can confirm for you, by the way, that the Nagano game will be starting an hour later today. You've got multiple games on right now, so it's perfect hunting ground for those of you with a second monitor. VonIvan Luvnest has started again. It's completely different factions as well, which is pretty exciting. So we've got 4 minutes until that one is ready. And now we're going to go over to Ed 80 Hertz with the scores from yesterday. And here we go.
Just to give a breakdown of what happened if you missed it. Well, blinking you would have missed it. Luvnest 3-0 Aimstrong, which we casted, but some excellent display from Luvnest there.
Yeah.
So enough said with that 3-0, I think. It showed everything. VonIvan, though, against PFC with a huge Asian audience watching that one.
Yeah, massive audience.
So it's great to see so much community fans out there. VonIvan again had just got through. He's had some brutally close games throughout the bracket stages, but beats PFC 3-2 to get this chance against Luvnest today. Devem 3-0'd Asher Blois. I hope that's how I pronounce that name.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Devem again showing his tournament worth. Jove 3-1ing Yezelin. I'm
just so upset with you right now.
Why?
I thought you were going to say it like a Radio 4 commentator with the football results.
Okay.
I'm like, oh mate, this just ruined my life. You're at the right side of the bracket
thanks
still.
for the heads up.
It was we predetermined joke. It was like the only thing we planned the entire weekend. It's like the only thing.
Let's do the other side of the backs then with Von Aston 3, Stuvie 0.
Prodigali 0, Asia Mint 3,
Nagano 3, Open Hands upon Stoke on Tread 2.
Isildur Happycat has been called off and rescheduled for a later moment. We should have said that for Prodigali Asia Mint, to be fair.
Yeah. But yeah, and Isildur closing it out with a 3-1 against Happycat. I hope he's still happy, but you know,
I think he should be happy with his performance. You know, he got through to this round, the third round, I guess. After the round robins and the third. So yeah, he should be happy with that. He beat Tiramisu, who's a pretty damn good player.
Mildly content cat. But yeah, Nagano against Isildur will be a great matchup as well. So whoever's covering that one will be a joy to watch. But as we go through, I'm pumped though for some VonIvan comeback.
Come
on, it's gotta happen.
It's gotta happen. First, we did watch the first game of the day though, and we have got the second one loading. Let's have a little look. We've got 1 minute and 10 seconds till we're live.
I think that was a tactical throw there from VonIvan.
Do you think?
Yeah, just give Luvnest that full sense of security. Then bam, second game, it's gonna own him now. But as we see, well, actually, I won't give away the factions. Whoops. But I do think
we can talk about the factions. We don't have to be spoiler free all the time.
It was so high risk. If you don't get your Panzer Grenadiers with Shrek's early game, and it was unfortunate or good play from Luvnest as well to sweep the teller, then you just leave yourself wide open against that T70 rush.
Also lets me do the scores before the game for once. But yeah, you can see the factions are going to be USF versus OKW, so completely different dynamics in this one, of course. Let's see if VonIvan gets straight back into things. As you're prepared to go live with a little bit of hype.
Achtung! Angriffstruppe ist unterwegs. Ziel erkannt. Abbruchzone markiert.
Welcome back all for game 2 of this best of 5 series, quarterfinal. VonIvan, NA's last hope within this World Championship series, and he'll be representing the USF, his own freedom fighting team, and he'll be up against Luvnest. an absolute monster at this game. No one wants to play him in order match, and I don't think anyone wants him either in the tournament. But it's going to be a great chance for him to get a 2-0 lead over Von with OKW on Kolodny Firma.
And let's see how he copes with VonIvan's double WC51 strategy. World Championship 102, here we come. He's going for 2 of them. And yeah, it's going to be ultra DPS. They're very M8-like in their profile when they're upgraded, and he's going to have 2 of them roving around, causing all kinds of problems for Luvnest in the north.
It's going to be mobile army for Von. He's getting a truck for every squad at the moment.
It certainly is. He's pumping them out, and it's going to give him good capping potential as well. Although he went out of the circle too fast. Jinxed it. There we go.
A bit too early on the trigger there to get off the cap, but there we go. These things upgraded with a 50 cal on the Jeeps are hellaciously brutal against infantry, especially against Volks where they don't have that Faust for quite a bit of opening of the game.
Certainly, we're seeing more barbed wire down from Luvnest. This is classic. He does this pretty much every single match he ever plays on Kolodny Firma. First movement is to put this piece of barbed wire down, then he blocks the entrance, then he gets this bit of green cover denied to his opponent. But as you can see, we're seeing great capping potential from VonIvan. The WC51's now joined by a rifleman. So yeah, he's getting really far up into Luvnest territories already.
If there's a Zergling-like equivalent faction at the moment within this game, it is the USF. They can put on some huge amount of pressure early game. But let's see how Luvnest deals with it. He could go for the counter cutoff here. It's not that well protected from VonIvan, but again, VonIvan taking the initiative, pushing the pressure onto the OKW, forcing them back to defend their points. I like this early game aggression from Von.
Trying to get a sneaky cap there. Oh, first bullets fired of the game, rear echelon over here. The reason he's prioritising munitions, of course, he wants the WC51s upgraded ASAP because they are weaponless right now. And of course it does cost 45 munitions. So yeah, first one should be upgrading now, I believe. There it is, yep. And he's halfway to the second one, so we'll see a good amount of DPS coming in for the American player. Well, American player playing as the Americans very shortly.
Double American. But Luvnest hasn't locked in a doctrine straight away, as he does with other factions displayed, especially with the Allies, so it's still open to see what he can. It's probably be the grand defensive doctrine against USF for those Panzer Fusiliers into Tiger, but we'll see.
New supply half track coming in. Rifleman repositioned to the centre. Mine in a juicy area from Luvnest there. Of course, big plans for a mine team. Like a mine gardener.
Just seeing the impact of that WC51 with the MG already. He's left the other one unupgraded, but he's just about to get the 50 cal for that one too now. It's going to be a lot on this plate for Luvnest to deal with.
Yeah, he's just chilling out in the centre now, waiting, biding his time. As he'll stop being a benevolent merchant of goods. He'll turn into a reaper of death very shortly, like his brother WC51 over here.
And a slightly different build from what we've seen previously in the tournament. VonIvan's gone for the early captain, so hopefully we get to see that flag half track multiplayer. It's really potent on this map.
North side rear echelons again, just doing rear guard action and protecting VonIvan's territories. WC51 now is upgraded. How do you like me now? Really doesn't want to pursue this Stern Pioneer, even if it is low. I'm wondering if Luvnest is going to go to the north side of the church to try and push him towards that avenue.
Yep, good combined arms now here from light vehicles and infantry from VonIvan. He's called in the Cav Rifleman, my favourite squad.
Game changers. Irony there.
So yeah, let's see how they work out.
Oh, and indeed, yes, he's going to go. He's pushed north. It's like a little bit of a bait here. Will VonIvan take it? Looks like he is.
No!
There we go.
Well, that's why you buy 2, I guess.
Yep, he's still got one alive, but he cannot afford to be debated in that fashion. Luvnest masterfully retreated in the exact direction he wanted his opponent to. And it's easy for us to say that. I mean, I called it, and I'm like ranked 400 in the game, but we're an eye in the sky. VonIvan is the man on the ground right now, and yeah, he's in the heat of battle against the #1 seeded player in the tournament.
But for top players, do you think that was a bit of an obvious bait?
Yeah.
Soft retreat.
I'm trying
Von was a bit too trigger happy there, I think, with his Jeep on half HP. Just needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
Wow. It's easy to say from our point of view in hindsight, but yeah. Still, gets the cutoff. Kolodny Firma famous for easy cutoffs. So VonIvan taking advantage of that, and I think he's locking. Yeah, he's locked
here
in
they come, the
flak
Thompsons. This could make up for it very quickly. First Grenadiers run away in fear. Oh, nice.
Stunpires over with that new stun grenade, just changing engagements now. Early game for OKW.
Tell you what, this could be a bit of a... No, they've got a lot of health on the individual soldat, and so fine.
They've been eating their avocado, they're healthy as hell.
Ooh, we've got a half track coming in, a flak half track rather for VonIvan, or the American equivalent at least.
Mechanized for Luvnest, so probably can save up for that Luke's as early as possible, but Luke's against flak half tracks, not always a certain winner.
On 2 kills on the WC5-1, and possibly not quite as much activity as he would have wanted, but you can't argue with that map control.
Yep. And Vet1, so he's got the mark target vehicle. Ability for that WC51 is pretty potent, especially early game. It can take you by surprise.
Half tracks now on the field, rifleman retreat in the centre. First Grenadiers could pursue and go for the victory point and the cutoff.
Much better VP control here from VonIvan in this game. In the first game, it seemed like he got caught cold by Luvnest. He's still, you know, he didn't warm up enough or something. But this second game already proven totally different story on Kolodny Firma.
There's the Beyonce cannon there, backing that up. And so like the slight filtering I do when I'm a relic at the table screen, backing that up. So, you know.
Combat ambo out for VonIvan. Who knows where it will go? Could he get it on the front line, a la free runner, or would it be safety first back at base? I think after losing his first chuck, might be a bit more cautious in that.
Destroying the sandbags there, and First Grenadiers now have to cower behind the Panzer IV in fear of the AA half track, and as you would be, it's 250 cals and a huge flak cannon, and here come the Thompson Gazelles running straight into combat.
Yep. Panzer II also in the queue for Luvnest. He's getting down some more cheeky mines, so it's good early gameplay from Luvnest. Playing a bit on the back foot from VonIvan's aggression, but it seems very controlled still for Luvnest at the moment. It's so hard to throw this guy off his game.
Really is. He's unshakable at times, but VonIvan, when he gets to that kind of critical mass, he can really shake the foundations of the very steady Luvnest. We've seen it before. He just needs to get tanks out and then use his superior vehicle micro, because he's the best vehicle microer in the game.
He's going to need it with this flak half track as well, because the Lukes could be a huge threat if it flanks that half track. It's such a fiddly unit to use. I mean,
so is.
It's very make or break, but it's got great suppression on infantry. So we saw Helping Hands use his flak half track great for OKW yesterday. So who knows? They can get wins.
Here comes the Panzer II. It's going north side to cause some big amount of harassment to these riflemen. Very low on health. VonIvan needs to see it. He has. But there's that delay. He's always gets a little bit too tunnel vision, does VonIvan, and he suffers with his lateral kind of focus and preservation as a result.
I think sometimes you just gotta accept you're gonna go a bit brain AFK on one side of the map, retreat that squad early, and focus on a kill somewhere else where your opponent might not be as equally focused.
Well, that's genuinely why VonIvan goes for vehicle heavy builds. He knows his infantry preservation isn't what it needs to be. Good amount of damage from the AA half track there.
Luke came up to say hello, got slapped right back down by the flak half track, but you have to have it stationary to get those auto cannons firing.
Oh, here they come, the bazookas, the A half track. Could he get the kill here? Has Luvnest seen it? Oh,
it's going to be max range. No, Luke sneaks away on the road. Just
well
that
saved by the MG34 positioning there, Ed.
Yep. But look at the triple cap. Woo! Finally got a VonIvan triple cap. Let's see how Luvnest likes it.
Cavalry rifleman in the north forcing his squad away, meaning VonIvan's had excellent VP control this game.
Yep. Already 100 down. Luke's badly damaged and no Puma nearly in sight, so it's looking like VonIvan's early game here.
WC51 now, of course, has the step on it, and he's you know, got 5 kills, you know, a little bit of harassment. You've got to say that the WC51 is really delaying this Focus Grenadier advancing into these territories, and that's what its job is right now. It's going to repair, and it's going to re-harass this Focus Grenadier. It's all about buying time. Time is the hidden resource. Well, there's a clock up there, Red, so it's not that hidden, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and just going back to just before the cast, we was talking about his Mimi strats. VonIvan kind of made this mechanized strat, I think, in 1v1. It has had some reworks and changes, but he's really mastered it and made it work. So everybody else in 1v1 high-level player at the moment's adapted it.
I think due to VonIvan's presence on his stream, where he comes across as like this jovial personality that's ultra calm and does crazy things, people think he you know, is that kind of player. But for me, he has affected strategy more than any other Company Heroes 2 player. There's been so many patches due to VonIvan builds, and he's really salty about it. But some of his builds have been that terrifying and that dominant. Oh, nice rear echelons in the WC51 here, forcing the Panzer II away.
Fast and light Tutsi Mobile, but heavily armored. It bites, you know. It's got good teeth with those double Zooks in it.
Glass cannon, if I ever saw one. Panzer II pushes in. One bazooka just whiffs straight over the Panzer II's head there. Bad shot. Focus Grenadiers coming in, but they do have a Panzerfaust in their pocket, and they are very pleased to see you.
One does not have a snare nearby, so that Luke's just going to walk in, no problem. Gets the Zooks out though. Nice overlapping player there from Von to defend his light vehicles.
Major watches on and takes notes.
Nearly 300 VPs for Luvnest, so he's feeling the pressure here. Is it West Side Spawn? Is bad luck on Colombia? Who knows?
Maybe.
But BAR's also upgraded for Von, so yeah, he's going from strength to strength with his infantry now.
Look at Luvnest's victory point count as well. It's falling drastically. Looks for all the world that we're headed to a best of 3. It's evens after games 1 and 2.
Yeah, and just like with the, I think we could get another five game series,
Yes.
like with Hans Nagano yesterday. That was brilliant.
That was amazing. What a series. Hans Nagano all the way to the wire. No spoilers in case any of you haven't seen it, but it went all the way to game 5, so that is a spoiler. But, yeah. There we go. We've got full 5 Focus Grenadiers. Well, there's 3 now. The 3 remaining Focus Grenadiers were in a very pretty line. Left themselves in a bad position.
Yeah, Luvnest is not going to want to see this go any more games.
Major artillery. Luvnest might not have seen it. Oh, and he suffers the penalty. Nice
Great
major
first out strike. Yeah. Well picked up there. There's a couple of models. Sends the MG running.
Oh, suicide mine. Didn't know about it. He damages the engine. He damages the engine with the mine that he triggered. Now the bazookas could finish the job. We've also had a Faust go in on the AA half track. Luke's is surviving for now. Rear echelons are forced away. It's all gone horribly wrong for VonIvan. Will he get away, Ed?
Yeah, I think he's got to get the hell out of there. Cancel.
Oh.
Do not dive just yet.
Rakettenwerfer firing.
Come back up for airborne.
Misses. Looks like the AA half track will get away. The Rakettenwerfer missed its follow-up shot there.
That's that same mine snaring both engines though. You've got to be quick to react, and Luvnest was on the ball there.
Ooh, Rakettenwerfer should be able to hear the repairing, but he's just being ultra careful. He's repaired the damaged engine, gets away. Cavalry rifleman punished the Focus Grenadiers. What an engagement that was. That could have gone either way.
The captain's just, I don't know, gone on holiday somewhere because he's lost him, and I don't know which engagement it was, but during the chaos, the captain's gone down for VonIvan, so he's lost a bit of his infantry presence. But queuing up the Sherman now, pushing into that mid-game.
I think it takes a while to update, but there you go. There's the captain dying whilst that was all happening. Off-screen, Luvnest killed the captain, meaning that although it looked like VonIvan was trading up there, nice stun to allow the retreat to be a little bit more safe, but he gets held up on him and has to like step
bump
over
his
the
way back. But a little fun fact as well, even if you've got 2 vehicles right next to each other and you Faust one of them, they can share the engine damage if they're right next to each other. It happened to me 2 days ago. I couldn't believe it. But just like with that mine earlier there, it's a very niche feature that can happen. But yeah, both players reacted to it well there.
Fascinating. And here we go, very nicely timed Sherman. 15 minutes into the game. Big shot from the Rakettenwerfer. AA hard track needs to be fast to survive, and it is just about. Nice shot by Luvnest there, though, over the bushes. Sherman's coming into the centre. Ed Focus Grenadiers await.
Yeah, it looks for the first time in this whole tournament we've seen Luvnest a bit rattled here.
Yeah.
On the back foot. retreating everywhere. Hella down on VPs. Just got this hero Raketten crew trying to buy him some time. He goes for a second Raketten as well. Good retreats here from Von. Unit preservation and VonIvan going in the same sentence.
Yeah, amazing. He successfully retreated a squad. The first tactic everybody learns, of course, from here.
There was a time where I think he's, almost offended if his squads didn't die for the for the cause. But yeah, better unit preservation here from Von in this game. Rebuilt the captain, so wanted that infantry presence again. Not gone for the BAR upgrade on it yet, but this flak half track doing work.
Yeah. Anti-air, but in this case, anti-Luvnest is doing a hell of a good job. Sherman in the centre goes stationary with a huge shot there.
Great AoE attack from the HE of the Sherman. So deadly against infantry squads and weapon crews. Raketten, I think, has got it back out for another day.
Dropped about Browning here. First Grenadiers crawl towards it. The eye on the prize but suffer as a result, and Captain looks to pick up the weapon.
Just traded it between squads, no problem.
Look at that map. VonIvan's romping in game 2 so far.
Yeah, it's all blue. AT gun now for Von, so he's getting a bit of a better balanced armor composition even. No mortar for either team. Feels bad now, but I guess okay, they were mechanized. So.
Tell you what, this Panzer II has to be careful. The A half track's coming around the corner. Oh, it gets some great shots in there.
Wow, up close and personal did a lot of damage to the Lukes.
Certainly did.
No echelon Zooks though to follow up sadly for Von. Luvnest reeling here. 155 VPs left, 17 minutes in. He's banking everything on this P4 that he needs to get. No Fallschirmjägers, no Panzerfusiliers.
No.
I just think it's the lack of doctrine that's really hurting him at the moment for OKW.
Certainly could have helped. And just to reiterate, he's only gotten he's gotten the 2 base trucks here, so no sign of Panzer IV quite yet. Will that turn out to be a mistake? He's not had the manpower for a Puma either, which really could have helped things. So he's now relying on 2 Rakettenwerfers. Luvnest does play very well with the revamped Rakettenwerfer Ed. I've seen him doing really amazing things with them. So we'll have to wait and see if he can fight his way out using them.
Just maximizes the use of that extra range now on the 5-man Raketten crew. But another Sherman coming in, so they're going to be busy with Rakettens. Another Sherman being built for VonIvan now. This could be GG. He's really got to push the envelope. And unlike Hans yesterday, he will go all in. He will go.
He certainly will. If there's a trigger to pull, VonIvan triggers it. If there's a button to press, he'll press it. He'd be a terrible POTUS. We would have had a nuclear war 7 times over with him at the helm, but he just loves to go all in. Because he's the best at it, Ed, and he gets results. He's addicted. There's high octane,
It's
brain
like the
scramble.
shark of CoH2. When he smells blood, he'll come from miles away to finish you off. But yeah, Luvnest definitely bleeding VPs at the moment.
Stern Pioneers crawling on their bellies, trying to get fuel for Luvnest because he needs it desperately.
I'm just surprised, amazed how well this flak half track's holding up against the Lukes. I saw some comments in chat thinking, well, Lukes every day of the week will take it, but just a great micro from VonIvan on his light vehicles.
Luvnest has had to push out from the centre, Ed, because he needed to cover for his Sperrpanzer headquarters, and it looks like he's been able to do that. It's not been unveiled quite yet, and it looks like it's going to fully set up without being punished. And that's why I look for First Grenadiers are bodyguarding for it. They're trying to keep the Major away. Do you see that? It's all about protection.
Want to get that early RD strike in on it, but the AT gun with take aim can take
oh,
it from range,
kills the
but
Major.
No. Major gone for nothing. 190 manpower to rebuild. Sherman getting busy though around the top flank.
So he was able to protect the Sperrpanzer headquarters. He also was able to pick up the Major, which could have caused him some artillery pain. So it looks like Luvnest is stabilising now. He just needs to keep fuel control for a while. Good shot from the bazookas.
Vec 4 Lukes now skips away with 1 HP, as does a rifleman squad, just gets away from Von. Everything on low HP here. Tanking a flak HQ to the face of the rifleman on the cutoff. Such devotion to close this game out from VonIvan. I love it.
Sherman with a little bit of an inspection from the south side there, just keeping Luvnest penned in. And like a caged animal, he's starting to go crazy right now because VonIvan's all over him and he's not letting up. He's straight back into the series, Ed. For all the world, this would be the biggest comeback in a long time because VonIvan is on top and he's in charge.
Something from Von now. He's a cool and calm character off screen. He needs that now in the game. Just to close out this without too many high-risk maneuvers.
Oh, main gun destroying the Sherman. Forced away by the Raketenwerfer and Faust. Likewise, will the... No, he can't get it. Just too far away. Luvnest, by the way, going for 2 victory points at the same time. He believes in the comeback, Ed.
Yep. I thought it was just some BM victory smoke there from this Sherman in the middle, but not quite. VonIvan grabs those VPs. I mean, we saw Hans how agonizingly close he was to decapping and re-securing the VPs yesterday. Luvnest has managed to do it just in the nick of time.
Just about. 18 victory points remain. It's now situation critical. He can't lose a major engagement again, Ed. Otherwise, he's out of the game. So everything has to go perfectly. And as you know, in Company Heroes, oh, it doesn't always go your way.
Brilliant wipe there from Von. The HMG, well, heavy in inverted commas because they did not suppress there in time for Luvnest. Wiped Volt's Grenadier. Rough ending here for Luvnest.
Look at this in the north as well, Ed. Here come the cavalry, watched on by a perfect infantry wiping vehicle for a VP scramble. VonIvan has this.
Yeah. When you're building Scots, you know you're ahead in the game. But yeah, evil unit for the USF, especially with trying to hold his very few squads left. Luvnest is 14 VPs now. Can he push his way back in? He's got no indirect fire, no light support gun for smoke.
Look at this, folks trying to try and push up. He's got one last ditch effort to try and get it. He's fighting for the middle VP as well. 10 points remain.
Well, the announcer definitely is a bit of a doomer, but there's still some hope. No, I think that with this, with the double cap, it will be enough.
If he's there, he'll fight, and Luvnest continues to do so. But the writing's on the wall. And that writing
still
says,
hates those squirrels over there. He's just pounding away at that ground. I don't know why. But GG, what a comeback.
What a comeback. The writing's on the wall, and the wall says 1-1. VonIvan, Luvnest, you're now entering a best of...
Achtung! Angriffstruppe ist unterwegs. Ziel erkannt. Abrufzone markiert.
So, wow. 1-1. It's a brutal map, the Kholodny Firma.
Yeah, fast and furious pace there in Game 2. Game 1 was a bit of a stomp one way. Game 2, another equal stomp, but the other way for Von. So, yeah, Game 3. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be a different map, isn't it? So, at least we won't have that Kholodny kind of huge pendulum swing-esque type games. But, yeah, I'm excited to see Von take it all the way to Game 5, I think. He's done it before twice in this tournament. Why not again against Luvnest?
So we've got lots of excitement in chat, a lot of people watching live. We've got a lot of streams as well. It's perfect time to get a multi-stream on the go or get your multiple monitors. We've got 850 people watching for the first couple of games of this series, and that's no signs of falling. We've got tightrope casting really late at night. And an ice cream van Ed can hear.
Yeah, way to leave the window open. But Devem against Jove for tightropes watching. That'll be a tasty game.
Aerofield says it was insane. Well, he's got the right clan tag for it. I wonder who won that one. I haven't actually looked or I've been concentrating on other stuff. Let's have a little check on the scores. Oh, wow. So, Devem 0, Jove 1. Yeah. I've heard that this score is wrong, by the way. I'm not sure about that. Maybe a referee needs to check it out. But apparently Von Aston's losing to Asia Mint, who, of course, got a bye versus Prodigali.
Yeah. Well, that was a very unexpected result. 3-0 Stuvie yesterday. I feel for him, but yeah, Von Assen smashed through with couple of 3-0s against Referrer as well, previous to that in the preceding round. So Von Asten against Asian Mint, tough game. It seems like Asia's still got a player in this tournament.
Yeah,
presenting. But our main focus today will be NA's last hope for this World Championship, but that is VonIvan. He's squared it up 1-1 against Luvnest, if you're just joining us. And we'll be swapping over to a new map. 2 games on Kolodny. Looking forward to the third one.
Yeah, well, the third one will be, of course, on Faymanville Approach,
Nice.
which is my favourite map in the game. So yeah, I'm excited for that. We're going to go on a very, very small break here just to get, I'm going to make a coffee, and I think Ed's going to do 30 press-ups or something he said earlier. Apparently.
Yeah, well, I could do with it. Won't hurt. Let's try 3 and go from there.
Yeah. So see you in one moment. We'll be straight back. Thank you. And we're back. We've got a brew in our hands, and we've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds until the game is live.
Yeah, as I said, we need our T to function. It's physically impossible for British people to cast a CoH2 tournament without it. So, yeah, we're geared up and ready. I hope you get your drinks or your snacks in ready for this feisty best of 3 now. It's come down to really.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Luvnest against VonIvan.
1 each, and yeah, we're going to be on Feymanville approach next, so it's exciting stuff. A lot of amazing matches going on elsewhere.
Why is it your favourite map, by the way? Have you had a famed victory against someone on this? Casted by General's Gentleman, I wonder.
Oh, I can't believe they casted that. That was traumatic.
But I didn't know how to play the game.
Yeah.
We've just played a Street Fighter earlier today, and Matt doesn't. He's one of those people who doesn't tell you any of the buttons and just beats you into a pole.
I don't know the buttons either.
And it's like, ha!
You knew the buttons. You were Sonic Boom immediately.
I was just mashing like a madman.
Yeah, Sonic Boom every time.
I guess that is the buttons, but
yeah, exactly.
They beat me on FIFA in extra time. Well,
that was amazing with 9 men as well.
Yeah.
9 men.
Red
Can't
cards
forget
for
that
days. Dirty Stoke type play, but yeah, fair play. He got me there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like this map. I don't know about the changes too much in terms of whether I'm a fan of them. I quite like that enclosed feel that it had before, but it definitely does open up some, like we saw yesterday with Hans's JP4, tanks like that, which didn't normally see much use on this map, suddenly have a great potential to get some damage done with those long range shots.
Somebody just asked me Liverpool or Man City. I'm certainly Liverpool. I have no problems with them winning. A lot of people remember them from the 80s when they used to dominate in England, but I just want to see them win. I really like them. Good group of players. Jurgen Klopp's a nice guy, and Man City are paid for with oil money, so I'm not too much a fan of that as much.
Liverpool, I think last year spent the least from all the top clubs. Even Leicester City spent more. So yeah, they've definitely built a great squad around. I think it's been so long. They've won a Champions League. I think it's about time they win the Premier League, but we'll see. Leicester's still there, niggling away in second position, so big up at the Foxes.
Might be able to have a post-stream beer and watch the second half of that if either of these players goes on a tear-head, so we'll have to wait and see. Oh, the game's starting, so let's get it.
Achtung! Angriffstruppe ist unterwegs. Ziel erkannt. Abrufzone markiert.
Hello there and welcome back. This is game 3 of the quarter-final between VonIvan playing again as the Wehrmacht, locking in, this time, German infantry doctrine. He's up against German steel and efficiency in the north as Luvnest, again, going as armoured assault tactics. This is Feymanville approach. I am AE and I'm casting today with Ed 80Hz.
Thanks, Matt. And what a feisty encounter we've got here. Intact. VonIvan loves his light vehicle, so he's got another 250 half-track potential that he could call in. It's not a call-in. You'd have to build it from the base, but it could spell very hard early game for Luvnest if he gets it out in time.
We don't often talk about bulletins enough for my taste, but there you can see the IS-2 gains veterancy faster, which makes it an absolute beast for Luvnest. And then, of course, mines costing 6% less and building 10% faster. Will really help him because he lays a lot of them. So, you're doubling up that percentage if you lay 2, etc. Ad infinitum. It really does help and compound Luvnest's playstyle.
Yep. Fast mines, you want to get the engineers out of that position early so you don't give away the positioning. So it's great bulletin, my man. First engagement here.
Yep, and the Pioneers can't even do any damage at this range, but, well, barely. The MP40s, of course, close quarter combat specialists, the Mosin Nagant rifles of the conscripts repositioning to cause them a huge disadvantage. Meanwhile, we'll have to check out this other fuel point, Ed, because it looks like the Grenadiers are up against combat engineers, so it's a little bit of bullying on both sides of the playground.
Oh, an absolute surround and pound here from Luvnest as infantry pushes back the Pioneers to cap that fuel, but Grenadiers will beat combat engineers 1v1 any day. So on the western side, VonIvan secures some fuel here.
Yeah, bit of yin and yang, ebb and flow, to and fro gameplay as they are tit for tat at this point. Grenadiers in the centre here. MG42 is well guarded, and that's how you play with MG42 Ed, of course. You need to have its bodyguard unit, and that in this case is the Grenadier squad.
Yeah, and I see a lot of Dane Gas, with his YouTube every day on CoH2 1v1 uploads, and he constantly goes on about how the MG42 can be an offensive weapon instead of a defensive one due to its setup time. So I think VonIvan must have heard him or must have been watching too. So he's trying to utilize that MG42 support weapon early on in this game.
It's over 1,000 rounds per minute. The MG42 is a very offensive weapon if you're a Soviet in this case. So much lead down range. Of course, the MG42 heavily inspired many later machine guns. It is an absolute marvel of wartime technology. I mean, of course, there are plenty of other ones in the Allied factions. We're not just going to focus on the Germans, of course, but the MG42 in my accounts, certainly a very sexy gun.
Have we seen a Maxim this tournament from the games we've casted? I don't think
I think so, yes. We did yesterday, I believe.
Okay.
Luvnest built one against Armstrong, I believe, yeah.
Ah, right. It'll be a Maxim at the end after a couple of discus to the face.
I always like the Maxim because it's like when the British Empire used to like control people with sharpened mango. Never fear, for we have the Maxim gun, etc. Anyway, back to reality and back to the tactics unfolding on this battlefield. 4 conscript squads now with this combat engineer who's going to have a bit of a flanking manoeuvre. I tell you what, Luvnest is controlling the map, Ed.
Yep, it's a good play here, and these 4-man grenadiers later on at 2CP can get that extra 5th model with G43s, bolstering their strength massively, and they take receive less accuracy, I believe.
Conscripts get around the scope of the MG42 there and force that away. Also had, the combat engineers have not gone into battle there. They've taken this opportunity to plant mines, of course.
Cheeky, fast, cheap mine from Luvnest. He plays it so efficiently. I played him once. I had the horror to face him in order.
Horrendous, isn't it?
And I just ran into about 50 chip flare mines.
I did some balance patch testing with him once. Just as I thought, he'll beat me, but maybe I can make it last 20 minutes. He was it made me feel like a little boy, and it just like manhandled me, and it's not a pleasant experience. It was awful.
No, but VonIvan's totally different beast, luckily to us, so it's already given his first defeat of this tournament, I believe.
Yes,
first game lost. Fun fact there for Luvnest. So,
fun fact for you there, fun fact.
Let's see if VonIvan can use that momentum in game 3. Austere is I don't know, it's a bit of a ballsy choice these days. Hasn't seen much
I'm not
love
sure, Ed. I think
patches.
we've seen equal Austere and OKW in this tournament so far. A lot of the top players can make it work. It's not so much OKW party as it is in our auto match games. Let's focus on the fact that, of course, this cut-off has been taken, denying all further resources to VonIvan until which point he decides to take it back. And he's going to try and do that right now. He's got the 250 on the field.
Let's see if 18 nades attacked for Luvnest yet. I don't believe he has. Nope, that's an early giveaway sign. Shouldn't play poker much because he was not bluffing there. No 18 nades yet, but great early game. We mentioned it at the start of the cast. VonIvan utilising this clown car whilst he destroys the scenery around him. Early game.
And he's also blocking this conscript as well and setting one of them ablaze. And there you see the model drop.
No respect for BT Cellnet there. Taking down their masts. Or whatever company it would have been back then.
He's going to go for a cut-off of his own here. VonIvan, as always, Ed, waiting for the vehicles, using them to regain somewhat of an advantage. Toe over the line there. The capping circle has disappeared, Ed. It's disappeared. Watch it re-emerge. I've never seen that before. The animation finished, but it was not disconnected. That was so close.
Cheeky breaky play there from Luvnest. Just about stays
there
in.
you go. 18-8 in as well. Jumps straight out of it, and it causes the conscripts all kinds of problems. Check out this KD. VonIvan heavily on top.
And look at the calm nature of Luvnest. He's busy capping the fuel again. It stayed connected by the skin of his teeth. His resources are fine despite this heavy pressure from VonIvan.
Couldn't quite get within 80 grenade range there. The 250 survives. MG42 in a good position though. Luvnest is being penalised and pushed heavily back.
it's this MG42 play. It's been brilliant from VonIvan. Very aggressive up there. And I think when the 250 gets Veterancy 1, it can act as a reinforcement supply truck. Which is going to be very tough.
Supply truck.
Oh, yeah. Half track.
No, I just thought about your voice. It was funny. sorry. Very, very unprofessional of me.
Voice,
It's the only one you forgot.
Let me be.
Nice re-emergence from Luvnest here, coming from multiple angles, trying to force away the MG42, and he does so with aplomb. The 250 watches on, tries to give some harassing fire, stop these conscripts getting too far up in VonIvan's area.
I'd like to see the LMGs or the 5-man squads now upgraded for Von. He's got to utilise his pressure. Hits a miner with the half track.
The mine we pointed out earlier as well, and can he finish the job here? Could he perhaps go for a cheeky... What is he? Where's his munitions at? No, he's got to be careful here.
Yeah.
He's got 25, he can't afford to oorah. Maybe he could now. It looks like he's going to get it. He's dropping models though, and he's got to worry about the retreat path. We're going to check that out in a second. He wasn't able to get there, Ed.
To the roads, men, to the roads. Yes. Awesome escape there from VonIvan. Very close indeed. But, again, good constraint from Luvnest. Retreats that squad. Doesn't risk losing the cons there.
Oh, brutally for VonIvan, by the way. He didn't have the 30 munitions he needed for the rifle nade on retreat at that point in time, so he failed in that regard.
That would have been a swag rifle nade to end all rifle nades if he landed it there. It's very tricky maneuver to do.
Very tricky indeed. But VonIvan with the stormtroopers with a very tricky entrance onto the battlefield, dying immediately, losing half their numbers.
And that's a heavy manpower beat, but such an efficient mine. 28 munitions, taking out near enough 70 manpower. 68, I believe. But yeah, stormtroopers, they're a make or break unit. They can be horrendous on your cutoffs.
And we're going to see Luvnest's vision here as that flare ignites, and with it, Grenadier dies with it. It's kind of poetic there.
Yeah, it's almost like King Theoden, so it begins. That's the first of the trip flare, but it won't be the last from Luvnest. He loves them. Only 10 munitions. I don't think the mine bulletin affects the trip flare mines cost.
Indeed.
Else that'd be horrible to deal with.
A red moon rises. Blood has been spilt this night.
No elves to help VonIvan though here. He's got to slug it out with these 5-man squads. Rifle nade.
Yes, over the bush.
Oh,
It's like stormtroopers.
Which squad was doing that? Yeah,
He was in the trees.
that is very cheeky nade. Good effort, but again, equally fast reactions there from Luvnest.
Grenadiers suffering. Grenadiers and combat engineers holding firm. The T-70 is late, and the German Luvnest will of course be very upset about that, with the lack of efficiency shown. That's a positive national stereotype, Ed. I think we're very, very safe in saying that one. It's very positive. As Brits, we don't know what on time means.
Boss, as they say in America.
Indeed.
Another cheeky rifle.
Oh, that was close because the combat engineers got delayed as the conscripts were before them.
I don't know about these. Okay, I do love me a good rifle nade, but this is almost too many. He hasn't got much munitions for these telemines. The King T-70's ruling supreme now in the early game. Late on in the early game, as he gets to the mid game, he needs to push for an early Ostwind, I feel, here with VonIvan.
We saw in game one, of course, VonIvan's lack of anti-tank really made him suffer. Any hard anti-tank anyway. In this case, he does have Battle Phase 2 constructed, but let's see if he's anywhere close to getting a Pioneer back to base.
And again, he skipped here too. This is mad lad stuff from VonIvan. Just going to rely on the Faust to keep this T-70 at bay at the moment.
The T-70 hates this car. He absolutely despises this car. This car killed his mother. Take him out, T-70. Finish the job.
Hostile takeover. He wants to produce his own cars. Must eliminate competition.
There you go. Luvnest accidentally hitting the car at least 8 times there. Fantastic stuff. Luvnest battling back, by the way, Ed. He's just taken the cut-off now.
Yep. You can never rule him out, but Von still does. Oh, there it goes. It's finally been fully cut off from his resources now. Just 7 fuel a minute.
Nice incendiary rounds as well. Igniting the conscript's retreat path. Where he is forced away here. We've also got an engagement up north as the MP40s on the Stormtroopers caused that Conscript's got all kinds of problems. What a game this is, Ed. This is all over the place.
Definitely high octane pace here at the start, and those Stormtroopers lethal on your retreat paths. Flashbacks to Captain Price beating Luvnest in an auto match once, utilising him fully.
This Conscript squad's got a difficult one now as well. Stormtroopers again hit a mine, by the way. They've dropped 4 models to mines.
Oh, they're good at clearing them.
Yeah, I guess. Clearing them the hard way. T-70's got a very cheeky position here, so stopping 3 directional traffic.
And here we see VonIvan's problem with not having a pack gun. Can't really get the Faust off, not much munitions. Oh, and Luvnest taking full advantage of this decapping right in front of his face.
Oh, that was cheeky.
No.
That was cheeky. These guys love to play CoH2. I know they're in a very tense tournament situation here, but they're still doing cheeky things like that because they have such a great rivalry together and such an amount of respect. Neither of them play for cash, they play for pride and cash. But there's a lot of pride, a lot of egos, a lot of fun to be had as well that comes with it.
Just 7 fuel now away from the Austrian. Will he go for that, or will he save up for the Panzer IV? VonIvan's got a big decision ahead of him.
VonIvan's going to hit a mine again, perhaps? Ooh, T-70 reverses and moonwalks into position. Turret traverses and rearmors hit.
That HP, as they were fixing,
He's going to kill himself though on the mine. Screw you, T-70, you're not getting Vet 3 on my watch.
Expert denial of veterancy there from VonIvan.
Let's go to the centre. We see the Grenadiers capping. Victory point situation is being rectified for VonIvan. Stormtroopers push in. These guys have 4 kills and 4 deaths. Are very, very neutral right now, but of course a very expensive squad to reinforce.
Yeah, good point. Thank you, Lord Stefan Beck in chat. Von still doesn't have the tier 3 building yet. I think he's just putting it up now. So yeah, he could I think stall for the Panzer IV here. It's perfect Panzer IV timing.
There's good fuel. Right now he has 1 capped and he's capping the other, so he might get a Panzer IV out in real good time. T-70's having a difficult look at Luvnest's presence of mind and understanding of the game. He's already got the Zis gun out. He doesn't even need to use it yet. It's just ready because he knows he's been behind on fuel.
Ninja stealth cap in here from the... Oh,
what a taller!
Boom, boom! See you later. Perfect bait there from the Stormtroopers. It's
was.
causing the T-70 to go inspect.
I tell you what, we've had baits from both players now, and they've both fallen for each other's traps.
Anything you can do, I can do teller, I guess. For VonIvan, that was a nice play there. Huge advantage now with this P4 that comes out.
The teller was not spotted, and he fell for it immediately.
But one Zis gun for Luvnest. Where there's a Zis, there's a way.
What happened with that rifle nade? It hit the telegraph pole. The Zis gun with wildly inaccurate fire.
Oh, that's very low HP squads. VonIvan, please.
Hey, he timed his retreat, by the way, for the Zis gun barrage to finish, I think. Something like that.
Yep. So, expert cast there.
By the way,
I would have been totally debated into a VonIvan.
We've had mechanised armour company finishing base for Luvnest. But here it is. Beautiful camo on that Panzer IV.
He knows what fate awaits him now, does Luvnest. See if Von can capitalise on this. If ever there's a game now he's got in the grasp, it's this one. To take the lead 2-1 in the overall series.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, don't forget Luvnest is going to be trying to stall for that IS-2. So he's now going to try and survive to get there. Because he needs the fuel, he needs to get to 230, and it's going to be a hard slog. He may have to settle for something different, perhaps the T-34-85 instead.
As that tier 4's been built, there is the possible upgrade if he gets the munitions for Luvnest to have 7-man unkillable consquads, which would be savage. But if anything can counter them, it is the 5-man Grens with the G43 bears. They're great against conscripts.
On board with the Panzer IV there. Got combat engineers going to have. I mean, look how dominant VonIvan's been. He's been able to cap this point. He's also taking the cut-off. It's a great map control there as Luvnest ebbs away. And he comes back to flow again another day. But there's an MG42 waiting for him. VonIvan is cooking on all cylinders now, firing on them at least. And yeah, he's doing damn well.
Yep, and with the map changes as well, you've got different exit points from the North player's base. So VonIvan was very aware of the map changes with his MG there, and punishes Luvnest accordingly.
Of course, we're looking at the new symmetrical Feymanville approach, the north side mirroring the south, which in my money makes it... It's my favourite map in the game, and I think it now rivals Crossroads as the most interesting and balanced competitive map in the game. You got these two, they're like the holy couple of maps.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what Luvnest goes next. Now, this is where, like an expert 1v1 player, they just always seem to pick the right option, right? And it would be fun to see what chat or what do you think Luvnest's next medium tank is going to be, or is he going to save for the big papa?
Well, exactly. I always I hate trying to second guess Luvnest because Luvnest just teaches me what the correct move should be. He very rarely gets it wrong, and in this case he's playing it safe, and as I mentioned... Oh no, he's going for the 76mm. Interesting. Okay, so he's saving a little bit of fuel there. Well, he's got 10 left. Maybe this is just the first thing he could get out, Ed.
Yep.
He couldn't even wait for the 85 variant, he just had to get the 76.
Maybe Von forced his hand there, I think, with his early game aggression. It's transferring now into a triple cap. Good map control now for VonIvan. We saw Luvnest still able to wriggle out with these death grip holds that VonIvan is exerting on him, but yep. Good unit preservation again from VonIvan.
Good retreat path here though for this one. No, they're going to go a juicy way, and this is one of the reasons Feymanville had to be changed a little bit. If you're the south player, the retreat path always used to be up here. So now there's this gap here, and this hedge is different. Just showing that off, I think that's a really cool change. It makes the map a lot more balanced. Here we go, the 76mm war-winning tank, Ed. This thing...
Sloped armor and all, yeah. I think the P4 does edge it out. I was surprised Luvnest didn't save for that T-3485, but maybe panic signs, who knows?
Indeed, but I mean, hopefully for Luvnest, he's thinking wisely and he's going to use the T-34 in combination with the Zis gun at all times and just play it safe and protect the anti-tank weapon as well, and maybe he can eke his way back into the centre of the map. But look at what VonIvan's doing! He's nullifying the Zis gun advantage with the Panzerwerfer.
Oh, big play here, big decision. He's got to keep it alive on a very short map. It can be dove from this Feymanville approach very easily.
That first barrage is so important though, Ed. It has to be timed perfectly. But Feymanville approach, as you mentioned, a great map for it. It's a very short and stocky map. You know, the range doesn't need to be great in order to get an effective one.
Yeah. And just look at the second Ziz being built now for Luvnest. This is perfect territory for Panzerwerfer.
It is.
Getting those support weapon wipes, potentially.
As I say, VonIvan, great strategic mind, underrated strategic mind in this game. And in this case, he has counter-picked Luvnest perfectly.
We should get some cracasms whilst we can in chat for VonIvan's unit preservation. Look at all those stars in the top.
Oh, first barrage coming in, Ed. Those rockets going to fly high in the sky and come thundering down. Conscripts drop. But they were on the retreat path. But unfortunately for the Panzerwerfer, just a little bit of health damage there.
Went for the high risk play there. Total pump action, close range barrage instead of the long range straight across the map for the support weapons. Interesting decision there from Von, but doesn't pick anything up, but shows Luvnest he means business, and he's got that little ace up his sleeve should he need it.
Well pointed out in chat, of course, there's radio intercept, so he may have seen that the Panzerwerfer was on its way, but it isn't always 100% dependable, and sometimes you just don't spot it. But he certainly spotted the rockets flying in the sky, because he got out of there in the nick of time.
Yeah, Luvnest has ears, OP, please no. Yeah, he would have heard, I didn't think of that.
He has two of them, that's just ridiculous. What the hell's going on?
Double or quits. Long range is shot on the Panzer IV again. The Panzer IV hasn't really had any chance to throw its weight around in this game. Great rifle nade though from the Grens, pushing up. This is a great.
Oh, but the Grens are getting a little bit too cocky here. They're trying to get those G43 squad shots off, and they do retreat in good time, but a little bit wasteful from VonIvan, losing manpower there. Panzerwerfer, by the way, its recharge is 17 seconds away. Perhaps his timing could have been a little bit better here.
Well, your favourite map is giving us another great favourite game again, I think, Matt, because casting mine back to yesterday with Helping Hands. Yeah. That's a huge GG push. VonIvan-esque against Nagano to get a win on that game there, and then this one just looks so poised in the balance.
Double fuel coming for VonIvan at the 22-minute mark. This game is looking like anybody's to win. Let's have a little look at the stats. You can see it's a pretty typical KD there for Soviets with a conscript-based build. You can see that VonIvan has eked ahead in population there.
Yeah, that's a relatively good KD for conscripts, I'd say.
Yes, to be fair, let's not take it away from him. It's not bad.
Done officially well, but 5-man squads could get the old squishy. No, Christian bails the hell out of there with that grand squad.
Crawls him away like a sheepdog.
They just seem to spread their damage out between the models a lot better than the 5-man.
Oh, Panzerwerfer is firing. Let's get the direction. It's coming into the centre. Just well dodged. Oh, again on the retreat path there. You can see what Von is trying to do, but Luvnest is getting out of there just. His reactions have to be so fast there, because if he had like reactions like you or I, we would have died on retreat. But Luvnest is reacting before we would, because he's that damn good, and because of that, he's retreating before the rockets hit.
Yeah, there's a strong correlation of 30 all boomers and not being in this tournament. Leave it to the young guns.
Repositioning, stormtroopers going cloak thanks to all of this lovely Panzerwerfer craters. Nice rear armor shot by the Panzer IV. They push on. Also had nice Faust go in there possibly.
Oh, a Shrek upgrade on the stormtroopers.
Oh, is that what it was?
They're sick
Fair
of
enough.
eating mines all day. They've now an anti-tank squad as well. So interesting pick from VonIvan.
There you go. You can see the Shrek. Yeah. What an expensive squad to put a Shrek on there. It's very costly if it doesn't work.
It's got the MP40 icon and whilst carrying a Shrek.
Oh,
dual wielding.
Panzerwerfer has to be careful also. MG42 stands between it and imminent death. Let's check out the north as the conscripts march in. Foch Grenadiers on capping duty. Meanwhile, we've got a bit of a joust in the south. They both retreat. That's a very peripheral engagement when they both retreat, Ed.
Yeah, playing chicken with their squads and both tapped out at the same time. But I think this is advantage Luvnest because he's gone into the late game. 7-man cons, vet 3'd everywhere. And he's got a head on the armor race because the IS-2 is just going to one-shot squads.
Panzerwerfer again in the centre, conscripts. Roar out of there this time. Ah, they fall into it.
Oh.
Panzerwerfer finally gets a few kills there. It's added 3 to its tally of 1. Now has 4 kills in total for those that can't do rudimentary mathematics.
I think as the next level strat, you should just only Panzerwerfer vehicles and hope for the damage there because it gets insane veterancy fast from the vehicles. Then go for infantries once it's got faster barrages. I don't know, maybe a new strat. I'll test it out in the future. Could be totally dumb, but yeah, second now T-34-85 in the build for Luvnest. So he hasn't saved for the IS-2. Instead, he wants that immediate double
He's doing
armor.
the right thing. He was down, and the T-34-76 has been really key in allowing him to push back into the centre and gain some control, and that's why he's a top player.
It's been a mid-game enabler for him, but no danger shots just yet for VonIvan. Could be a good pickup against
A little bit of a
armor.
beach holiday here as the conscripts decide if the water's hot enough to swim in.
Wondering how the hell they ended up there from Advisor.
Well, this tank was pushing them away, I suppose. It's a good chance to go on vacation when there's a tank trying to kill you. Rifle nade, well dodged by Luvnest. What good preservation. He also gets some nice kills with 2 tanks now. He's got this 270. No, he's got the 85 indeed on the north side. You can tell by the storage tanks on the back of it.
Flamethrower squad a bit brain AFK, just taking shots to the face. I think Von's busy microing other units at the moment. Gets the P4. Veterancy 1 now, so it does have the blitzkrieg ability. For his extra GG pushes later on.
Absolutely. Of course, one of the best changes about the 85 is the turret was big enough to actually have many, which certainly helps when you're trying to command a tank.
Shrek squad, please. Yeah, there we go. Extra bit of damage. This could be T-34-85 going down.
Oh, a squad wipe as well in the mid. Tanks pushed away. It's all going down.
T-34-85 lives. Stormtroopers could get collected here by the conscripts. Accuracy when? Oh. Savage there. VonIvan just in 234.85, I believe, bounced 2 shots from the P4.
So much going on though, Ed. Both tanks retreat to lick their wounds, but we lost 2 squads apiece there, and that should be coming in on the ticker very shortly.
Yep.
Takes a second. We'll check that in a second.
Vet 1P worth it. He made it. He made it to the promised land. I think Vet 2 starts to get faster reload ability between barrages. So that's key to note. 5-man flamethrower squad for VonIvan. That's going to be super fast repair times later on with the armor. Desperately needs a second tank though. Luvnest is gaining the upper hand of this game, starting to collect and make this map blue with the VP advantage now as well.
76 pushes away the Grenadiers. Elsewhere, we've got VonIvan trying to push in and take as many of these territories as his little legs will carry him to take. Ziskin forced away in the meantime. We've got T-34, 76 rampant in the centre. And a Sturmgeschütz is building.
Yeah, we finally see the the little nipper. He's got a lot of DPS. So it's slightly less powerful gun than the Tiger or anything like that, but it just shoots so often, especially at high veterancy.
And like a true Soviet commander in the early war in particular, he's using men to buy time, and that's all he was doing there. Mine goes off.
Luckily just one model. It could have been worse. But yeah, Vet 3 squad still alive for VonIvan. Unit preservation is there, banishing that old myth. But Luvnest somehow, against a horrid early game, using the T7 to attack him to bounce back.
He's bounced back with furious vengeance and anger. He's doing well at it, and here come the T-34 cousins pushing in. Target the infantry company because there's no other targets right now because the Panzer IV reverses out of there.
Acting
Here
as a
comes
nice
the
meat
Stug
shield for the P4 there.
tagging in. Let's get its hunting profile down. We've got a Zis waiting for it. We've got mines being laid. T-34 is going to go for a northern approach.
It's just Luvnest is so proficient with his mining, keeping his tanks alive as well. That's a Vet 2 T-34 76 now. We get the super ram late game. Who knows?
So Pioneers, well mentioned by their 5-man squad, really does help when you've got a flamethrower. And he's got to push Ed because he's actually losing victory points at a rate of knots here. It's roughly 1 per second when you're triple capped, and it's really going to start to hurt if he's not careful. Panzer IV firing, must be in the centre. Oh, they're building, that could be a wipe.
Oh,
Really slow cancel.
sandbag denied though, worth.
Panzer IV now 11 kills and 5 barrages. Not great, but not terrible. Just bad.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But with the nice push here on the left-hand side, it's not getting too bottlenecked as VonIvan. This map kind of causes people to no tunnel vision and focus.
We've got a T-34 with a damaged engine here. Nice Faust behind the trees, and Stug with a big shot. Needs a follow-up though, but the Ziskun's blocking him.
He falls 2 down.
Faust is now recharged, Ed. He's going to go for it.
No, I think he should back off. Just try and think away at the anti-tank gun crew. This is danger close for that Gren squad.
Look at that, he's decrewed the Zisgun, the Sturmgeschütz goes in and finishes the job! But there's another Zisgun waiting, main gun destroyed. Grenadiers throw their life on the line for the right, but the Sturmgeschütz dies.
Dane, please. Oh, very good max range shot there from the Ziz, punishing VonIvan, but it is only a Stug.
And he did get the 85 mil as well,
Yeah.
Ed, so he traded up there all in all.
Good fuel exchange there for VonIvan. But his squads are dangerously low. It's going to be a lot of manpower to reinforce him.
It's a very risky push, but he made it work with that excellent decrewing of the Zisgun. So MVP Grenadier squad there, it has to be said.
Crucially though, he couldn't steal the Zisgun. I think a Zisgun going the way of VonIvan would be perfect for his army composition, because he doesn't have these dedicated 80 guns at the moment.
Take into account a little bit of the capping on the west side. Great presence of mind by VonIvan and good map control pushing back, but also Luvnest has taken this cut-off, causing an island of resistance in the centre. So it's turning about as the tanks are repaired. The infantry take their chance to show their hand.
Yeah, these 7-man cons, they just do so much work late game, especially if they get them sandbags down and green cover. Horrible to push into.
Look at the fuel of Luvnest. He's going to get the Starlinium Supremo, the big, heavy IS-2. And
I think VonIvan needs another Stug to try and combat that.
well, he's got on Battle Phase 3, and he does have heavy Panzer core, so I'm thinking possibly Panther next.
Yeah. My track record with Panthers is horrendous.
Is it?
They seem to miss everything, but I quite like the Stug choice.
Oh,
again.
he's going in for another
There
Stug.
we go. There we go. I like it. I like it. 2 ticks for Von. But lost the Stormtrooper squad with the Shrek.
Did he?
That was painful. Yeah, on retreat to the conscripts. So I believe later on in this game, if he gets the manpower float, another Stormtrooper squad could be great for decapping.
Look at these tripwire flares.
Rubbing it in now. But somehow didn't take a model.
Oh, on retreat there. A lot of damage done to the conscripts. That's better.
Yeah. All the way through the game. I don't even know if Luvnest wants to get a Katusha after his IS-2 because he must be feeling the heat from this PWF at the moment.
He really is. He's wanting to be proliferated with fire and he drinks water.
Here's your big boy.
Oh, here he is. 60 tons of aggregate steel with Joseph Stalin's chest hair inbuilt to give it ultimate Soviet power.
You should almost get like a mod with Michael Buffer introducing the IS-2, whatever you call one in. Oh! Don't want to get your infantry got surrounded by this thing. But, still in position. Good preparation from Von here.
T-34 checks him on the impasse there. We've got conscripts decapping the fuel, but the Panzer Ball comes in, and the Stugs watching over from the other side. Nice shots bounced on the Panzer Ball.
Yeah.
Really helps that it's got veterancy too.
Crucial there as the preemptive 18 nade was thrown by Luvnest. Perfect timing, but just didn't get the pen. A bit of luck there for VonIvan.
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, and Jesus smiles on him today.
And also, he's using this opportunity to push north. He's got 5-man pioneers forcing away the conscripts. There's the retreat we were talking about earlier. Luvnest does not mess around. He doesn't give himself too many things to think about. If he's got a bad position in the north, he just retreats it.
Yep.
No point fighting for no reason.
Slowly building towards their munitions for the great skill plane call-in versus fragmentation bombs. They could be key late game as well.
Work is ready to fire. I'm banking on it firing. There you go. It's pointing over here. Let's go see what its target of choice is. Looks like the Ziscun is in the firing line, and there it is.
Oh, and he's shooting the IS-2 for that extra veterancy. He listened to me. But this is both, unfortunately. This little two-step dodge from the Ziscun. Nice snare onto the IS-2 though. I don't think Von can follow up with it, but it keeps the big papa at bay for now.
And here comes. Look, that's high-level play. I mean, you may think I'm just remarking on something for no reason. It's not hype, but to me it is. Both players are at the top of their game. They see engagements, they're not going to win. They retreat before the engagement even starts. That's the level we're at. Grenadiers forced retreat. IS-2 could kill them on it.
And another invisible somehow holding the cap where you don't even see the capping circle anymore, or progress.
Oh,
Swirly circle, but yeah, just about holds that VP. Could be crucial later on down the line.
Dushka on the IS-2. Hyped pointed this out yesterday. It's a pretty cool change. Feels like watching CoH 2.5 with the amount of changes we're getting.
Yeah, it evolves throughout the years. Still, great balanced teamwork, keeping the metas fresh, and even shout out as well to, is it Stone Panther who did the remake for this map?
For this map, it was Rosbone, Stone Panther, and myself actually. Yeah, I
nice one,
did more
Rosbone
like
as well,
competitive feedback for them.
Yeah, keeping these tournaments so fresh.
They really are. It's always good to change some rules up as well. We had some good changes for this tournament. We had a round robin as the starting phase, which was pretty exciting. Another Danger shots in the build there, Ed.
Yep. Well, he's doubling up, isn't he? Just like his WC-51, so you can lose one now, but as long as he kills a key target with them, it's hella efficient. Trades up very well.
Maybe he's going to strap them together and make a GDI mammoth tank. Double up on his studs. To be honest, he may end up going for 3. I've seen VonIvan do it, but mostly on longer sky. It is quite an open map though, as it gets deformed. But the IS-2 with those big 122mm rounds. Here's the Panzerwerfer.
Vet2 now, these are going to come in harder and faster. Vet2, Zizgun goes down. This is potentially the time for Von. He's snared the IS-2. Great flank and shank there from the Grenadiers.
Oh, and what's this? Got fragmentation bombs coming down on the IS-2. Blocking its vision. That's really not exciting. Expecting a lot more. But the Panzer IV.
What you make of it, eh?
But look at that slow turret traverse. Here comes the
Capitalize
Stugs.
No!
Panzer IV's around the rear
Terrible
side,
miss.
Ed. Stugs through the centre, they bounce. What is this indeed?
Unkillable IS-2, please.
Now
Dangerschütz is failing at the moment.
it is rear armour hit on both tanks, trying to get around that slow turret traverse. Stugs pushed away. T-34's come in the meantime. Now Stugs turn their attention on the T-34. Meanwhile, the Panzer IV goes north. T-34 on life support.
Oh,
Simultaneous disaster for both tanks. IS-2 remains. This gun looks to take out the Panzer IV. Panzer IV's going to try and get around the gun. IS-2 takes it out. Stug comes into view, Ed. Will he take out the IS-2?
No, he's bouncing again. Oh, this IS-2 is just unpenetrable, it seems, to the Stug. Big trade there. IS-2 comes out on top. There's a reason why it's called a heavy tank. That was such good RNG for Luvnest there, but he played it perfectly, backed up fully. 80 guns scrambling and 18 nades to his help.
There you
Just
go, an
about
unkillable
alive.
fortress. We've got a Panzerwerfer barrage coming in. Where is it at? Oh, it's in the centre. Conscripts and MG42 in pain get
It's a
taken
Maxim.
out.
Maxim, we could get the glorious Wehrmacht Maxim.
Oh, God.
Do you even pick it up? Do you want
Oh,
that
we could
thing?
kill two here. Luvnest being overly stretched by VonIvan. This is what we are talking about. VonIvan stretches Luvnest like nobody else and makes him make mistakes. The uber efficient German engine that looks invincible at times. Only VonIvan has the answer, it seems. And it looks like he's come out of this engagement somehow on top, Ed. How has that happened?
Well, never count Luvnest out. It's happened because VonIvan's just sustained push. He had the extra tank advantage and made it work there against the AT guns. Beautiful barrage from the P-Werfer, and that's what we're talking about. Nice GG push there, but self-heals from the IS-2.
Yeah.
He may be able to get it out, and he's got a Vet3 Pioneer to boot to keep it alive.
Certainly has. Conscripts keeping the cut off. This fuel remains for Luvnest. What a game we're watching though, Ed. 215 victory points to 187 with 40 minutes nearly in this Titanic Game 3 in the biggest tournament in Company of Heroes history.
That's what you're going to love 1v1. It's just got so many rubber band moments, comebacks, and you never know who's out on their feet until the very end.
As a 1v1 fanboy, I cried when those big 2v2 tournaments are getting all the funding. I'm so happy that Sega and Relic are now giving the superior game mode a chance to shine. Because watching two, in this case men, locked in combat against one another, mano a mano to the death, there's nothing quite like it, Ed.
A fantastic bounce back from Luvnest here. It's just showing that he's ridden his luck a bit with that IS-2 surviving. But now he's looking to make VonIvan pay.
Oh, a lot of damage being done. IS-2 follows up. Will the conscripts finish the job? Not quite.
Slipped away. I tell you what, the Pioneers are almost MVP of this game. They're pushing off everybody from these capital points.
Oh, here comes Sturmovix. On fire. They need the pintle mounts to keep these guys at bay. He doesn't have the munitions right now, though.
Losing the P4 was huge, though. He just doesn't have that flanking capability. Stugs are very static.
Telling
But
me.
walking in, T-34 straight into double stug fires. Well advised.
Ill-advised indeed. Here comes the IS-2 spearheading through the centre. Big shots going in. He caps the centre and he's a quick retreat. He's showing a little bit of fatigue, but he's playing out of his mind in this game, Ed.
I don't know if that foul's connected or was cancelled. Looked like the fouls didn't go off there from the IS-2.
Meanwhile, in Maximland, green cover denies all spread.
500 years
He's
later.
given up on it. No, he's repositioning to try and get round the west side of this sandbag. Mine goes off just to the north side of your picture, and you can see, like in a child's bedroom, they're just going around the ceiling on string. The IS-2's denying all power in the centre. What an image that is, as they finally bugger off, as we would say in Britain.
IL-2 is doing their little victory parade flyover, but VonIvan trying to desperately prepare up his Stugs for another onslaught from Luvnest.
IS2 finishes the Maxim, who was really struggling to get any level of suppression. I think VonIvan gave up on it. Says, "Yeah, you can have it."
Yeah, I think it was a tactical throw there. Just keep this shoddy weapon. I'll stick with my MG42. He says.
Luvnest battling back in terms of map control. 202 victory points to 180. It's dead even. In terms of population as well, 78-72. Again, dead even. The one thing Luvnest has in his favour is he's banking 148 fuel. That's pretty much it. We might as well just say, welcome to Game 3. Let's see who wins.
I genuinely thought somebody would support. I didn't
I
realise
scared you for a second, didn't I?
Yeah, I was like, no.
Meanwhile, in the centre, IS2 is really gaining veterancy thanks to that bulletin also, but a lot of combat experience to boot. Panzerwerfer firing high in the sky. Is it on retreat? Yes, it is. Well, so was this.
Brave powers, decruise assist. Such a prudent choice that has turned out to be for VonIvan. A lot of people would have thought, huh? Panzerwerfer second choice, but he's making it work for him very well.
Certainly is. Look at this as well. Let's get the fog of war off as he can see the Zis. He's going to destroy it. Boof! There you go.
Okay. Can they hit the IS2 like they hit that AT gun? That'll be one of the easy life 2-1. But the mental endurance now kicking in. Game 3 halfway through this best of 5.
Oh,
Especially
nice rifle nade there, anticipating the retreat path ever so slightly. Will the G43s finish the job? They get in the garrison, do they? No, they get it around the corner anyway.
Well played by Von. Still using them rifle nades to maximum potential. This late on in the game, but mental fatigue, like I said, must be taking its toll.
By the way, Luvnest's T-3485 has been snared. It's recently built. Went north, got snared, and out of combat straight away.
Another little high level tactic to destroy the green cover by the Studs, helping out the Grens taking these comms in the centre VP.
And suffering here. Panzerwerfer again with that Vet2 recharge. It's causing all kinds of problems. 31 kills on the Werfer of Panzers.
Yep.
That's exactly what he's doing right now.
Crucially, no engineers now for Luvnest, so he's feeling that burn. He can't fix up his IS2, Big Papa tank. Gets another Su-85 instead. No engineers yet. I think he's just going to rely on the auto fixie-fixies for the IS2. Yep, there you go. He's used the ability.
I think the Panzerwerfer is a misunderstood beast. It's much like the Nebelwerfer of CoH2. It's a bit more expensive and costs fuel, of course, but it's area of denial, you know? It denies area. Yeah. And it does a great job of it. It might not always kill. Well, in this case, it's doing a good job of that. But regardless, even if it wasn't killing, it's still causing Luvnest issues. And it's just a two-click. You click the Panzerwerfer, you click where you want it to attack, and look at that recharge. It's ready to do so yet again.
And something so great about CoH2, I think, is just the sounds. Just the sheer sound of a P-Wave starting off its rockets sends shivers down the spine of the opposite player. They don't know whether to retreat or hold their ground. You just don't know where it's going to land, but triple armor now out for Luvnest.
Su-85, which has some kind of sexy cuboid look about it. It's brutal and it's very Spartan, and I like it.
IS2 hasn't been wiping the kind of squads that we normally have seen him in the past, so...
No. It's got 22 kills, but to be honest, it's been on the field for a long time now, so...
Nearly vet 3, halfway there. Same as the Panzerwerfer, nearly veterancy 3. What does the actual veterancy 3?
There's an attack coming in, I feel. Sturmgeschütz are repositioning. The IS-2's down there. Grenadiers are ready. Pioneers are going to provide sight. Panzerwerfer also cocked and loaded and ready to fire. And look at that penetration, Ed! The IS-2 quivers in its boots as some of its paint is now scratched.
Great long shot there from the vet. One Stug does have target weak point available. That could turn a tide of a tank battle later on. But I think Veterancy 3 on the P-Werfer gives it further range, if I'm...
Yep, you're right.
Improves max range. Okay, so it makes you spread a little bit better everywhere.
All those in-house team games, Ed, have come in useful now.
Yeah, 4v4 master.
Ooh, Pioneers obliterated. There's not much of them to send home to their families. A matchbox will suffice.
With Arena, they were high veterancy 2, 5-man squad. That's a big win for Luvnest there.
And I called it 3 Sturmgeschütz is the build for VonIvan, and he's enacted it now. The unholy trinity of Daneland.
If he can pick up a Zizka, I think VonIvan should have gone for a P4 there, but It's reluctant to take back to tier 2.
IS2 is a hunting beast here.
Lingershoots with its sexy side skirts in trouble. Baited. Just dodges. IS2 snared again. I think it's been snared about 4 or 5 times this match, but just can't get the killing blow on it.
T-34. Position causing problems. Stux have something to say about that. And now there's a third. T-34 forced away. Victory point situation has gone in Luvnest's favour. Is he going to win this around the 1 hour 10 mark? It certainly feels like it at this rate. But VonIvan now has 3 studs. He has the possible critical mass he needs to actually force away the IS-2. But do not forget, we now have T-34 85s. Just check out this Panzer barrage over in the centre. Yep.
Still aware of its threat now. Doesn't want to lose any more of those Vet 3 squads because they are very hard to replace. Takes so long to get them up to Veterancy 3. IS-2 self-repairing again. What an ability. Probably another reason Luvnest loves this doctrine. Big call and tank. Has the radio intercept. Strong IS-2 call-ins. As well as the self-repair. It's just...
Oh my god, I think Luvnest might be thinking of a flank here. I've seen this before from him versus Helping Hands in 2016. It was the 30th of March. It was game 3 in ESL, and he lost that game when he went for a monstrous flank on a prepared Wehrmacht position. Could this one go in the Germans' favour this time? Because he has he has the critical mass, and he could enact
the
it.
HP of the building. That's a huge loss. Vet 3, 5-man Grenadiers go down. That's a tough one to replace.
It is indeed. One should have seen that coming, though. You should say, but it is very late in this game now. SU-85, by the way. Going up against the Stux.
Bomb that's even a sickening blow for Bomb because he would think this IS-2 should have been well dead with those Stux attacking earlier, but Veterancy 2 Stug in trouble here.
Stug and the T-34 come in from the other side. The Stugs, of course, are very one-dimensional. Sorry, the Ziskel needs to get out of there. Panzerwerfer has it ranged.
Gets Vet 3 from donking the IS-2 on the head. It works.
Oh, nice from the Stug, and we've had a Faust go in. This could be a very dead 85mm. Almost deja vu from 20 minutes ago.
Stug, concentrate.
Can't see his prey. Have to try and attack ground. Oh, tries it, misses. Meanwhile, we've got the SU-85. Does he see him? Yes, he does. There you go. He's in focus mode. Could get the killing blow.
That superior range of the SU-85 just shooing away the
perhaps.
Stug.
Will he really try it? No, he's just out of range now. IS-2 dominating the centre. VonIvan has kept the central victory point, meaning he's not out of the game yet, but he does have double-digit victory points now.
Yeah, it's the most important resource of all at the moment. Kind of max army for Luvnest. He can't grow anymore. VonIvan does have 30 pop cap potentials worth, just not the manpower. It's all about the VPs now as we transcend into the very late game.
I have to say that squad loss in the house really might begin to cost VonIvan because his pressure that he can apply to victory points really is not there. You've got these conscripts hiding behind the sandbag. You've got this machine gun in the house in the north, meaning that Luvnest is starving VonIvan of the oxygen he needs, and that oxygen, of course, is the victory points.
I think rather than the YOLO Panzerwerfer strikes, he needs to get a bit more tactical with the usage of it. Take out that Maxim in the north EP, spread some of his influence up there. It's double fuel now for Luvnest, so even if he loses tanks, that Soviet Windustry almost can kick in.
Look at these tanks, they're all moving in unison. He's got perfect overlapping abilities. He's got the bunker busting IS-2, the precision tank destroyer, the SU-85. The conscripts leading the way, trying to get position and just giving him the reconnaissance he needs. Also causing the MG all kinds of problems. This cap could spell disaster for VonIvan. Will Luvnest win it here?
I think Von will never give up. That's one thing for sure. He's going for the YOLO swag 250 half track. I think going to put the engineers on it to go burn those Maxim squad out of the North EP, but I don't know about this play from VonIvan.
It would have made sense had he had the central victory point. He's just lost it, and he has, it looks like, no sign of getting it back yet. Only one of his Stugs has attained. Well, you've got 2 Veteran C2 Stugs. Surely he has what he needs, but the SU-85 outranges them, and he's got the reconnaissance Luvnest, and foresight is everything when you're against a casemate tank destroyer, because of course they have to swivel their entire body. So if you can put them off position, like a very flat-footed boxer out of position, you can punch them in the side and give them the hook that they do not need.
KSI style.
Oh yeah.
Oh! Pioneer totally brain AFK'd on this squad. He's going to that cap whether he likes it or not. Oh.
Stug as well, getting a big Vetsu this round in the face, but here they come, the 3 Stugs back in the T-34. Oh, they could take it out, but the Ziskun's facing the right way now. They do indeed. He reverses away the weakened health in the centre. Dutch Grenadiers push in. He's using incendiary rounds on the machine gun. Dutch Grenadier looks like he neutralises it for the Reich. In the meantime, the 250's gone north. The Maxims had to go to the beach resort of safety.
I read his mind. He's gone to take care of that Maxim with the Flamer. It's a good play to get the VP back. But so many Stugs now on the field. It doesn't have any anti-infantry armor. Just one lone Ranger Gren squad left.
Oh, here comes the IS-2. It's Veteran C2. It's got a full bill of health. T-34's come in. Luvnest could be finishing it off here. Look at the Stug. It can't get itself facing the right way as its compadre dies. IS-2 forces itself on it.
Amazing play from Luvnest here. This looks like his GG push moment now after being on the back foot for so much of this game. Vet 3 IS-2 height.
Oh, Stug goes down in the north there thanks to the action there as the Stug rams him and misses. Gets taken out. Panzerwerfer with a fatalistic barrage, last-ditch attempt as all the victory points are getting capped for Luvnest. He won in the north as well with the Maxim, who bided his time. And finally, VonIvan throws in the towel. What a game. 53 minutes, 30 seconds. GG, Luvnest 2-1 up in this series.
Achtung! Angriffstruppe ist unterwegs. Ziel erkannt. Abbruchzone markiert.
Here we go. And what a game.
Wow. I'm sweating just watching.
We both got
God
sweat
knows how
patches
much,
watching this, you know.
Luvnest must be dripping because he was put under some pressure there by VonIvan. Excellent game from both players. Just showing you on a great map like Flamerville Approach. It's had some tweaks. We saw probably the best armoured tank battles that we've seen of the tournament so far.
I would say so.
Loved that one. But the IS-2, I must say, Luvnest can thank his lucky stars for that one because it bounced a hell of a lot of shots from the Stugs.
Let's have a little look at the stats. I mean, Luvnest with a pretty good KD versus Wehrmacht's conscripts, of course. I think in fact that's bad for VonIvan if you think about it. Army value wise,
that old cliff at the end, but
1929.
he had to go for it though at the end. VonIvan was desperate. Just, I think, a bit of... I saw in the chat that it was going through the game, a lot of people were calling for the Panther. I get that point, but again, that doesn't give much anti-infantry capabilities.
No.
So, great usage of the Panzerwerfer from VonIvan. It's rare to see in this tournament, especially in a 1v1. Great, 2 thumbs up there for that play. It was wiping a lot of Ziz guns. Just couldn't get that back tech going for the Pak-40 and the anti-tank play for VonIvan there.
Absolutely, we've seen a great game, and if you could think about the fact that VonIvan had 14 territory points, pretty much what Luvnest, well, exactly what Luvnest finished with, but he had the entire map at one point. And if you look at the army value and you overlay it, you can see that he was doing well, and he was in charge at that point as well. We're going to check out the personal stats. I mean, Luvnest with the anti-tank Ziscon played very well, kept out of range of the Panzerwehr for a lot of the time. Yeah. He lost 3 of his original 5 conscripts, and obviously it's a 53-minute game, so that's to be expected, I suppose. Let's check out...
Glorious rifle nades as well. Shout out to Von for triggering them, because I think he wiped a Vet 3 Pioneer down on the
Yeah.
southwest munitions. That was brilliant play. So late into the game to have that presence of mind. We've all kind of been there. If you've played 1v1s late game, just the simple things done well. Keep pressuring away, keep plugging away. Have a go, try it. Attack ground shots. Go for everything you can because they can swing a late game engagements, which means GG in the end. But yeah, how Luvnest survived that one, I'll never know. But yeah. Brilliant well played from both players there.
You got the Stug was the MVP, obviously VonIvan, he built that many of them, but
Five
his preservation,
deaths.
I mean, it wasn't actually that bad in that game, to be honest. It was cause for the par. He did well within his limits there. Big shout out to 1,000 viewers hype. I think that's what we're around. That's without any hosting either, so that's good for the community. A lot of reports of scores coming out, so big shout out to Mexico I Go for keeping the chat updated on what's happening elsewhere. Also, you've got Ed, just to introduce us if you're new, to say who we are. Ed cringes at this, but you know it's important. Everyone needs to know who you are. That's Ed's Twitch. You can catch his merriment.
Not just some guy brought in off the street.
And that's my YouTube, which you'll be able to find these games on later. So, you know, a little bit of follow and subscriber love. It's free and it goes a long way in making us feel wanted. So, it does. You can see those numbers.
Sell out gaming there for a...
You got to sell out. We got to be, you know, sometimes a little bit selly outy, I guess.
Ecourt, I see in chat. Hello. And it's great to see, you know, names you recognise, the community that's building. It's for a 5-6 year old game now nearly.
Oh yeah, 2013 June it was released.
Brilliant. Like I didn't even really hear of this game until a couple of years later. I was relatively a late boy to the scene, but no, it just shows you what you know, class tells over time.
Yeah,
and this game is still being played by, you know, some very, very high level competitors. And yeah, I'm intrigued now. Can VonIvan bounce back to get that fourth game to tie it for the fifth decider? Oh, I'd love to see him do it, but Luvnest just seems on form. How he survived that game, I don't know.
Me neither. Game 4 started 2 minutes ago. Ed and I obviously need a little break, so we're going to go away for 2 minutes. But it's literally only going to be that.
Yeah.
I may have lied. It's actually going to be 3, but then we're literally going straight into the game after that. So see you in 3 minutes.
Good afternoon and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 4 of this best of 5 quarterfinal decided between VonIvan representing his famed USF with the mechanized option already locked in, and he'll be facing up against Luvnest, who's picked Oster for this one. No, OKW. What do you think about that, eh?
Luvnest loves the Wehrmacht, or the Oster as the community would have preferred they were called. And the WC51 strat again enacted yet again for VonIvan. We've seen allies win every single game, which now means that every single person that watches this stream or YouTube video will be like, allies OP based on the empirical evidence of 3 games between 2 players only. It's testing and it's science.
There'll be public burnings and pitchfork rebels on CoH2.org. Allies OP. But no, I just think every game's been pretty much 50-50 in the balance. Let's see if Von can keep the Allied train rolling, or Luvnest can finally stop the trend.
Let's see if we can keep up the high octane casting, because we just casted 53 minutes 80 seconds. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you think, oh god, these guys are kind of low energy or whatever, or their voices are cracking, we're doing it live, baby. Chain.
Pumped.
Oh yeah, every single game, one after another, of course.
Knockout CoH2 tournament gaming, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. WC51's capping up the map. We've got, it's just 2 pioneers, always with the 2 worker units, Luvnest, which is fantastic. Reminds me of good old CoH2.
Strong econometrics used in chat as well. Realising that allies.
Oh, 3 echelons.
Please no.
Escaping the envelope of the MP40, they drops off around there. They should be fine.
2-minute wipe at this time would have been horrendous for VonIvan there. Skips away though with his last HP sliver.
Good pressure.
Did you see that?
What was that?
The old pop-out vehicle crew.
Oh, nice! I did not see that.
Points for VonIvan there. Karma increased by 1.
That is cool. I was just taking away the I nearly missed something really cool. I was just taking it away to show that Luvnest is dominating the map on the south side. He's capping the fuel and pushing up really well. And he's had effectively a double fuel as Wehrmacht for a while. Will we see some crazy 2-2-2 rush perhaps, which would be really nice against WC51?
I think that's the earliest double fuel I've seen since those Aimstrong games from Luvnest. So. But VonIvan's fighting back on the Eastern Front to get his fuel. Holding the mid with the Rifleman. It's going to be crazy early game with these double jeeps. One of them's got the 50 cal now though.
Nice telemine there as well. And it's in a really nice position because, of course, you want to traverse north-south along this road as the northwestern player quite a bit. So, yeah, that probably will catch him out, I suspect.
Yeah. And crucially, no MG42 from Luvnest. He's going for his famed double pyre into 3 Grenadiers build again as Oster. This is very unique because everybody else in this tournament so far has been using that MG42 as a crutch early game.
Rifleman, push on. Oh, where's this WC51 going? The soon-to-be-dead WC51, Ed.
No,
Shall we get on board with him?
Don't use the road. It's a trap. Oh, Shazam.
Oh, we missed it! How lucky is that?
Did you bait it? How did it... Oh, God knows. VonIvan's luck sometimes.
Well, meanwhile, VonIvan's preservation on the other side gets alpha fasted and killed.
Maybe he didn't put enough pressure down on the telemine, who knows? Just one wheel.
But even if he survives now, if there's any pressure here, he'll probably go around it again. But if you look at that telemine, that would have been great in the old Feynmanville, but now we've got this space here, and obviously this space here. The pathing isn't quite as obvious.
Yeah, superior CoH2 pathing saves VonIvan there.
There we go, we've got a triple capping party all around this area. Grenadiers win.
Nola Captain locked in again from VonIvan. He'll be going for that AA half track, no doubt. Might call in the GG Cav Rifleman. It's definitely got the manpower. I don't think he's got the upgrade. Is the motor pool upgrade to get the flak half track?
Yeah, that's right.
US now have to spend slightly more fuel to get that tech out, which saved Axis a little bit.
Grenadiers capping in the north. WC51 sees the Grens coming in the south. And this is what I'm talking about now. It's going to get pushed around that road again. So we're going to have another chance for the Talon. No, he's going to reverse away and just keep the pressure on. As one would expect.
Oh, I can't believe no sweepers yet. He's not in his own territory to upgrade the sweepers on the rear echelon.
That was a rifle made from this squad there. Well dodged by the captain.
Yeah.
Oh, WC51.
No, definitely.
Bye-bye.
Fire won't help. Boom. See you later. Both WC51s going down this time. So he doubled or quits and lost both
And
of them.
the Zweihand's fans' sake would have finished the job anyway. AA half track is coming out, but VonIvan starting the game with the WC51's 400 manpower now down in the blink of an eye.
But just 3 pop cap for that unit. That's insane efficiency if you keep them alive. But great early telemine from Luvnest. Just in tournament play, no one really expects your engineers to get that far up the map. And very cheeky breaky play there from Luvnest.
But then
paid
again,
off big time.
VonIvan has the munitions, but he does not have a minesweeper on his rear echelons. I know he may not have swept that area, and it was a very kind of like interesting area to place the telemine. But regardless, even if he did, he wasn't going to sweep it.
And now you can see it translate into great map position from Luvnest. He's going to get his double fuel cap back going again. BAR captain this time. He didn't go for it on Kolodny Firma, but longer range map on Famenville approach. It's going to be very helpful for VonIvan.
Certainly is. The half track with VonIvan and all of his fans are praying for this thing. It's going to reverse its way to victory very shortly.
I like the Vet 1 rifleman, so he has got that snare available. Good old combat ambulance coming in onto the field soon from VonIvan, so he can heal up those very low HP squads.
A little bit of a handbrake turn incoming to get that really facing. There you go.
Now comes possibly the hardest vehicle to use in CoH2, the black half track. Got to look out for so many avenues of threats. Faust, the MG potentially later game armor and the 2-2 with a triple VP.
Look at this as well, Ed. I mean, there's a Grenadier with a Faust on this retreat path for this AA half track, which is pretty much keeping Von in the game at this point.
Yep.
Got to be very careful with it.
And look how desperate Von is to get this fuel cut off. The very low HP captain. Those models will drop like flies if they get some pressure on their retreat path.
Indeed, they will. Guren's behind the well, drawing on his full resources. VonIvan looks like he's dehydrated right now because Luvnest sea goes inflated as he's cocksure of winning this series.
But the GG
Pack howitzer
is being built.
Oh!
Down goes the... Drops the BAR too. Oh, that's rough.
That is, and Pioneers now have medium to long-range capabilities.
And now we've vet them up much quicker than normal.
2-2's going to go kill the ambulance. Oh, Luvnest is on a parade, a victory parade here, looking certain to go into the semi-final versus either DevM or Joe.
Oh, rifleman on retreat. Just bit overconfident. Goes for the cover rather than the retreat path. Good retreat there though from VonIvan.
A really good series though. VonIvan, of course, being the first to defeat Luvnest on the field of combat this tournament. Even if he were to lose, and he's certainly not out yet because he has the pack howitzer.
Now with its upgraded 5-man squad, he's good.
This guy's really excited to get into combat, isn't he? What is he doing? Come on, guys! Come on! Come on!
He's learning to walk.
He's failing.
But yeah, the ambulance crucially does stay alive though, and VonIvan just gets 2 seconds of breathing space, which is a lot in 1v1 gameplay, to fix up his flak half track, and desperately needs those cav riflemen on the field though. Here. With 134 munitions, could instantly get them the Thompson upgrade.
Exterminator and Superjar in chat with some interesting points. VonIvan tends to use the same strat all tournament, leaving him very susceptible to be countered easily. Even before the game starts, you know what VonIvan's going to do in a tournament most of the time. Luvnest, of course, does his homework. He was telling me yesterday, doesn't mind me saying this, he anticipated Aimstrong strats. He found his Smurf, saw the strats come in, countered him beautifully.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a little submarine, he used the sonar to...
Like a midget submarine, that's right, yeah.
Oh.
Puts a limpet mine on you, you don't even know about it.
But it could just be a coincidence that Luvnest is probably the best player in the world at the moment, and no matter who he faces, it just seems that he's so consistent.
Indeed.
Still no MG42 play though, so a Pack Howie slightly less effective. I think, sorry, it is the MG42 added to the roster.
Yeah.
But it wasn't used in such early games. I don't know how he manages to translate the map control so early on the roster. Brilliant.
Got superior sighting and accuracy now, so Luvnest can really just see any spills on any aisle of the supermarket and call it out to his workers. Get the mop bucket out because VonIvan needs to be contained.
And this is the issue of not going lieutenant. You don't have that 50 cal to help suppress and bolster your infantry presence. And you do not have the King Stuart, which early game is so good against Buster usually. But VonIvan's opted for the flak half track, which served him very well in a victory earlier in this series against Luvnest. But this game seems totally different.
We are losing a sector.
Reversing away, we've got cavalry riflemen with their upgrade now enacted. There you go, popping out.
Great time in there for the Thompsons. Even DeBard up bet to Pioneers sent back.
And we've just had it confirmed in chat. Spoiler alert, you might want to mute YouTube if you don't want the result of Dev and Jove. So just for 5 seconds, Jove 3-0 versus Devem. So he is through, and the winner of this series will face Jove next Saturday, live from 80Hz Studios on Relic Entertainment's channel. It's going to be a hell of a day of action in the semi-finals.
Yeah. Jove training up in auto match. He's like almost the auto match king, isn't he? He's put that practice to good use against Devem now. But Luvnest at the moment just wailing on the pressure upon VonIvan. Can VonIvan bounce back like Luvnest did last game?
It'd be a hell of a comeback if we just look at the graphs and compare them to what we saw earlier on. Luvnest actually isn't ahead in population, he's only ahead in map. I was surprised by that, and then if you think about it, I mean, VonIvan hasn't actually been losing that much. He's lost a few key units, but not much else. Panzer IV, though, for Luvnest is going to be a tricky customer.
39 fuel a minute. I mean, you could almost get another P4 in 2 minutes' time. It's going to be crazy. VonIvan really has to stem the bleed here and try and go for some cut-off plays. But the lack of smoke potentially can use the pack Howie, but I do think I'll harp on back to it. I think a mortar is so useful in Bainville approach. It enables so many flanking level options.
Grenadier with the LMG causing the pack howitzer all kinds of problems. Panzer IV marauding through the centre like a shark. A half track sees something in the water and doesn't like the look of it.
And no little mines from the USF. They can lay them with rear echelons, but none of them on the main road.
Damaged engine on the Panzer IV. Will it kill the rifleman on retreat? It does kill the M1 AT gun, which was his pretty much his, well, not his only AT, because there is a rear echelon, but they're getting annihilated by the LMG Grenadier. This could be the end of VonIvan. A half track watches on as the 222 finds it. Meanwhile, looks like the rear echelons escape. Panzer IV in the centre, dominating. 222 ekes out a living against the A half track.
VonIvan's got to watch his rifleman dangerously low now, but I think he's been micro in his half track. Running the gauntlet doesn't make it. LMG Robocop-esque accuracy nails them.
Oh dear, keeping the streets of Detroit safe from scum, as Robocop did, of course. And thanks to Ed109 casting, we've seen a great weekend of action today. So big thanks to Ed Atkins for travelling all the way up to Stoke-on-Trent for this series to watch his hero die to Luvnest. Oh, that's a shame.
What is he, my Von? He's down, but he's never out. Come on. Cav rifleman, Cowie, please.
Cavalry rifleman,
you never know.
after 2 kills, they're currently capping this victory point.
You're only one satchel away of getting back into the game. But yeah, just so much VP pressure. Double pack gun now for Luvnest. It's as if like he has no remorse for his opponents, is it? Still just stomps them into the ground when he's ahead. He definitely makes sure he consolidates his position. Expert awesome.
He's going to try and finish the job, but the pack does it for it with a huge long-range shot there. Cavalry riflemen now have to run the gauntlet. 222 harasses them as they do.
Goes to show though, losing those 2 WC-51s early game, how different this game is. And all the posters on CoH2 halfway through their sentence of Allies OP might have to rethink it a bit.
Yeah. Delete post. Relief infantry as well enacted for Luvnest. So any losses right now, so you look for combat. These little double X's mean, of course, we could be seeing the guys you can count on. Ostrupen very shortly.
And if you think ahead, who is going to be able to stop Luvnest? Because it's just been so consistent. He's taken out his bogeyman if he gets this win.
Well, we all thought that back in ESL 3 years ago. I don't know, I've got a long memory, but it's for a reason. Luvnest looked unstoppable. He won both ESL EU and ESL NA in January. It was only Jove that was able to stop him. And Jove is the guy that is possibly going to meet him in the semi-final. Not much more possibly around it, to be honest.
Still, the echelons don't know the game's up, so they're going to keep blinking away. Double Zooks in hand against the P4. Vet 3, 2-2-2.
VonIvan with the amazing strategies there. He chose not to kill any Luvnest soldiers to deny the Ostrupen next level gaming. Or he couldn't kill them, I'm not sure which.
I think this is 4 Zooks now. Yep, 4 bazookas ready. This could be a huge barrage on the P4. Double hit, but still not enough. Luvnest, being the consummate pro that he is, will not let up on this game.
No, he's seen it out with a beautiful mastery of his craft.
Attempting to steal our sector.
Bring back Talisman. We need someone to challenge this guy.
There's plenty of people on the right side of the brackets also, of course. I mean, Von Asten's there. You got Nagano, who we saw yesterday versus Helping Hands. Cracking series if you want to watch something today. Watch Nagano versus Hands.
And our great Brit Hope Isildur might still be in the tournament.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
He's won 1v1 tournaments previously, as has Von Asten. It's the time of the newbie potentially this year, but Cavalry from trying to do some work. 2-2, blinking away at range. It just looks so in control now for Luvnest.
Certainly does. I mean, look at this rear echelon. He's going to have to try and keep VonIvan in the game. Same with the cavalry riflemen going south. Let's just have a little bit look at the old cinematics here. It's not looking too great for VonIvan.
Walls will help one last who are potentially trying to take out a key unit at least. P4 seems to be the target.
2-2-2 in pursuit. Indeed, the Panzer Force suffering.
I would not want to be those units on their retreat path right now.
This is the house they die in, Ed. There you go, one drops
outside the house like, look, take it, don't take me.
Oh, here we go. As the riflemen die. Looks
Defiant
like it was...
to the last. Oh, a bazooka and a BAR. Hero Pioneer Squad with a sweeper. Jack of all trades.
And he certainly is the master of many. Oh, look! Cavalry rifleman on the island height. This is the first time I've ever seen anybody use the island I suggest to be put in the map. And it's now been utilised. This could be game-changing, Ed. They're looking at the wheel. They're probably making bread. It's you know, they're going to be very well fed. They'll come back with a vengeance. Also, he's in this house as well. Cavalry rifleman going to spring the ultimate trap, Ed.
Late game WC51 combo hype with the Cav Rifleman inside. Just put something vetted. Maybe the rear echelons has to drive a step on it and then drive light speed twisted to CS right into the P4 to suicide bomb that car. I don't know. But
look at this,
other than that, I can't see much of a
the victory point. He's waiting for them to disappear. He's going to jump out and take the victory point, no doubt. It's almost like, do you remember that game Commandos where you have to escape from the the German soldiers and like go around in stealth mode?
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Oh, cheeky decaps. Defiant to the last, isn't he, VonIvan? He never wants to give up. But I think he'll just be thinking over his tournament as a whole. He's had hella hard games, five game series twice in a row. It's a lot harder route than Luvnest's.
Stuka close air support on this WC51. That is overkill. Goering's finest called in. It's already dead. Oh. There you go.
Skill planes OP.
Cavalry rifleman hype. Surely they're jumping out, and here they are, Ed. They spring an ambush on the victory point.
We're going for one last freedom push. Snapping the 7th VP. I don't know what gun's been dropped outside the house, but Von is just playing with his opponent now.
Bazooka indeed.
Too bad it's not done in the way that he wanted.
Look at that Tiger, that's just OP. Meanwhile, Panzer IV versus Cavalry Rifleman, will they keep VonIvan in the game? Is his victory point strain? Probably
I
not.
think the glorious brick wall of fame will approach will save him for a while. Yeah, they're going to get the cap.
Are they?
Easy cap, yeah. Never in doubt.
They're going back to the island. Look at that.
Oh!
One man survives.
Long range snipe from the P4 there.
Hide, my friend, hide. The Germans might be coming for him, though. Here come the pioneers.
It's become like a mini game, hasn't it?
It has.
One cap wipe to rule them all. Tiger tank though has other ideas. Does not care about nature and isolation. Crushing the trees along the way.
Hero Major dies in the pizza base there. Nothing survives. You've got the Hero Combat Medics though. Will they turn the tide of battle for VonIvan?
Could it be the greatest anime comeback for the medics? Nope.
Nope. They're dead.
Deleted.
Looked away and they're no more. Got a mortar half track. It could be the mortar half track of doom for Luvnest. Will the mortar half track save VonIvan in this tournament, Ed?
Call it meta OP.
No, that's a
by
shame.
skill.
Right, we're now left with the Cavalry Riflemen who go into combat and die to the Pioneers. The last man survives. It is the rear echelon.
He gets away. One survivor.
He does not look
Von
like
Ivan
he's had
himself.
a very happy time. That is not the happiest guy ever. I think that's worth a bit of a print screen there. As we watch an amazing series, well played to VonIvan, as always, an entertainment provider like no other. But it is Luvnest going into the semi-finals. GG, well played.
Achtung! Angriffstruppe ist unterwegs. Ziel erkannt. Abwurfzone markiert.
And we're back, probably for the last time
Yep.
today.
I finally get to escape from Stoke-on-Trent and Matt's work camp. No, I'm just kidding. It's been a great blast casting all these series with you, and much more importantly, all the viewers that have tuned in over this weekend. We've seen awesome last 16 with Helping Hands yesterday, probably the biggest EU streamer, and now we've just seen the biggest NA streamer of the game put out by Luvnest, who just seems unstoppable at the moment.
He really does. He's an absolute beast. We've got I'm going to be hosting Olvardi, who is casting Isildur versus Nagano for you. So his 78 viewers are going to go up substantially in one moment. Big thanks to Ed for obviously travelling up. Big thanks to Sega Relic for funding this tournament. Big thanks to all the referees for refereeing. Big thanks to the players for playing. And big thanks to the chat for chatting.
Yeah, it's been a good team effort. Everyone playing their roles. Referees behind the scenes, they do a lot of work. Matt as well, with Andy from Relic, the community manager, has put all this on for us. So yeah, big respects and much thanks to them for the game that we love.
Big shout out to Luvnest, of course, in chat. Everybody give him...
Deleted my hero VonIvan. I'll forgive him. He's pretty big, so I shouldn't complain.
Yeah, he's a big dude, If it was like face to face, well played.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's get this host on for Olvardi.
Let's do it.
Or we could go even for a raid. Take the chat with us. Let's go for that.
Get stuck in, Teddy.
See you later.
Enjoy, folks. Take care. Nice one.
Waiting for the raid. 567 viewers and growing. I'll wait till it hits its max. We already signed off, but I forget that they can already hear us on the raid mode. And it looks like we're ready to go. Let's go. See you later, guys.
Ooh. Nice one, Matt.
No, other English words you can write. I don't know.